Your bar was moving and mine was just
okay.
staying still. All right.
All right, good to go.
In theory, we are live.
I got nothing on YouTube.
It says I'm 15 seconds in already. So.
Well, it's usually about 10, yeah.
Yeah, 10, 20,
10, 20
sometimes 40. It is your internet after all.
Whatever. There it goes.
All right. We're going to call that good.
Trimming my balls and ad. That's a great for your ad.
Yeah, awesome. On that note, welcome to Talking Heads, everyone. Episode 130, your once weekly live show for the latest in beer and tech news. I'm Jeff.
I'm John.
Welcome to the show. How's it going, everybody, on whatever the heck day in quarantine this is?
What is it, like 33?
Allegedly, it's Wednesday, but I'm only on the computer and on the show right now because my calendar said to be. So, other than that, I'd have no idea.
Well, this is court mandated for me. So.
It's doing a community service for work off right now. You're just working off a drunk driving ticket. That's what you're doing.
Yeah, gotta clean my desk of all the stuff I didn't clean up.
You know, some of us come prepared to the show, John.
What show? Prepared?
Welcome to the show, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us on this Wednesday night or Thursday morning, depending on where you live.
Yep.
If you've never seen the show before, this is our once weekly show. We talk for about 20 minutes or so worth of beer or alcohol-related news right at the top of the show. We move there into tech talk that usually lasts between an hour and 20 minutes, and then we finish it with pop culture, games, entertainment, or whatever we decide to talk about. Sometimes Star Trek.
A lot of times Star Trek.
I don't know where we get that from. It just happens. We do drink on the show, but we both try to keep the content friendly in both language and content, so to be as family friendly as possible.
Yes.
And if we do go a little off the rails, we usually try to precede that with a warning. So.
Yep, and usually it ends up being toward the end of the show.
Yeah, it's definitely not in the first hour unless Steve's on and.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you so much for joining us. Let's start this off right, unless you got something you want to say first.
No, I was just going to say, so let us know in the chat what you guys are drinking. Again, it doesn't have to be alcoholic. It can be tea, juice, water, non-alcoholic. We'll probably give you a shout out during that time when we're probably about to announce right now what we're going to have to drink.
That's right. You'd think after 130 shows, I would start including that in my entry speech, in the introductory monologue. Yeah.
That's the only reason you have us here, is to get those little bits that you keep forgetting.
Yep. Scotty in Discord. Holy crap, just realized I've been in lockdown here for 47 days now. First case my wife saw was March 12th. Oregon State lockdown happened on the 13th. We did have a show that following Wednesday. Was that one remote?
I think it was me. No, I think it was
No,
me.
The 11th was in person still.
Yeah.
And then the 18th was remote. That's right.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been since March 13th for us. So thanks for reminding me that it's been 46 days for me now.
Oh my gosh.
Right? It's been a while. Let's get the show started off right. John, what are you drinking tonight?
I don't know. I got a couple of choices, and there was something I did want to try earlier. It's not a big beer, but it is supposedly a flavorful beer. You and I are pretty big fans of Hefts, especially good German Hef. But
yes,
good banana
traditional German banana esters. Yeah.
So I found one. I'm gonna go get it, and I'm gonna start off with a Hef.
Okay, starting off with a Hef. I can't wait to see this one. The way he introduced it is kind of making me raise an eyebrow slightly. While he's doing that, we'll give a couple of shout-outs here. Novella Hub's got Clown Shoes, Fistful of Unidragon, Barrel-Aged Russian Imperial Stout, 12.5%. Ooh, that sounds good.
I've had Unidragon before, but not Fistful of Unidragon.
Yeah. Jameson Caskmates IPA edition tonight from John. Michael is cracking open a Younglings. Let's see.
Slaying those Younglings.
That's right. Just like Skywalker. Janice Brewing, Ruby Red Kolsch. Oh, I like a good Kolsch.
Yes.
Not a lot of people like Kolsch's. I am a really big fan of a good Kolsch.
I don't, again, a more German, European style. America still make theirs really light and crisp. And it's just, yeah, I like, when it comes to those more lagery type beers,
Have you had Rogue's Honey Kolsch?
No, I don't. I might have a long time ago.
It's solid. I mean, it's one of the regulars, but it's pretty darn solid. Yeah.
And I might not have had it just because of the time of like, I'm tired of American cultures and just assumed it was that.
I've totally been there too.
Yeah.
Anyway, John.
All right. So I got El Jefe. It is a coconut Hefeweizen. So
okay.
Exactly. And we were kind of talking about in one of your last videos in the comments of good coconut beers and trying to taste coconut, and you had the Santiam Private Reserve, Governor's Reserve. We're talking about that has good coconut. So I'm curious to see how much coconut is in this Hefeweizen.
So am I. Maurice Phillip, first live show in ages. Hope I can make it to the end. Thank you for joining us, sir.
Yes.
I hope you make it there as well.
So what are you going to have?
I am going to have, well, I'll stay in on you for the pour, but I'll go ahead and switch over.
Oh, okay.
I have 3 beers lined up next to me. I think I'm going to start with a Lift Bridge Brewing Juice Z New England IPA. The can art's awesome. It's like this kind of, I don't know what you'd call it. Oh, it's Godzilla.
Oh, it's Godzilla.
Yeah.
Or it's one of those called not kaijus.
Yeah,
kaiju.
Like that.
You know, they can't call it Godzilla, so they call it a kaiju, a large mythical monster.
Right. And this one, I don't see an ABV right on it. I think this was in the 7 range.
Okay.
So it wasn't too bad.
Yeah, this is typical 5%. I'll tell you what, so far this smells like a good German hef. I don't get coconut, but I get nice banana esters, some spice, malt, wheat.
So, what do you think?
All right. It's a good hef. It's actually a really good hef. There's enough spice in there. There's a good body. It's cloudy. No coconut.
No coconut.
No coconut. No, I'm not.
How I could have guessed.
Yeah, exactly. I know. It probably just has coconut flavor. It says with coconut added. I don't know where. Maybe it helps smooth it out. You know, maybe if I dig through it and it warmed up a bit. But otherwise, though, if it didn't say coconut and just said Hefeweizen, I'd be like, this is a really good Hefeweizen. This is like, oh, Jeff wants to have this. You know, it's good.
Nice.
But no coconut.
Okay. Was that one of your Tabors?
Yeah, the Tabor.
Okay, gotcha.
Totally worth buying. I got 2 of them.
Okay, nice. Skull says the Juice Z is a 5%, so it's actually a nice light New England IPA.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and crack that one open here. By the way, I'm using RTX voice again tonight. John heard that. No one else probably did, though. Although it did splash a couple drops onto my monitor.
Okay.
Very light color.
There we go. Now I can see.
All right.
There we go.
Well, that's like yellow in color.
Oh yeah.
That's
I really. What's funny is mine actually looks like big bold hazies. It's just super like. I mean, look at that. It's just cloudy, yellowy.
Yeah.
Like what a lot of big, but it's a hef. It's fantastic. I'm really happy I opened this. No coconut, but I'm really happy because I was kind of getting tired of big IPAs and juice bombs, and I had one yesterday. It was Revision, and it was just one of those acid burn, hazy. And I was just like, I mean, this is good, but halfway through, I don't want to drink it anymore, and so it's getting harder and harder to find these type of beers.
Oh, John.
Yeah.
I'm a fan.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of this one. It's like a cream IPA.
Ooh,
It's
interesting.
yeah, like Orange Julius meets IPA.
That would be delicious.
It. I'm a fan. Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
both of ours are at 5%, so easy drinking time.
yeah. But this is almost creamy in consistency. It's very, very sweet, very juicy. The hops are still there, but there's so much just really, really strong orange notes to it, and it tastes like an Orange Julius. I mean, there's not a lot of other ways to call it. That's good. That is really good. I did have a hazy the other day. I don't remember what it was. But the Anchorage Six of Swords.
Oh yeah. Did I give you that one, or did you give?
Yeah,
one?
you gave me that one.
Okay.
I cracked that one open. That was delicious as well.
Yes, it was.
Oh man.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
I gave that to you because you spilled the other one.
Spilled the other one. Yeah, this one I made it all the way through, and I made sure to include the beer review in this one as well.
Okay, so is that for your latest video you were talking about in the Discord?
It is indeed.
All right. So if you don't know what we're talking about, that's Jeff's Discord. You can get previews to Jeff's upcoming videos and chat with all of us on the Discord channel.
But by the way, that PC in question is literally right here.
No one can hear you slapping it, Jeff.
I know, that's cool, right?
I mean, I can. It just doesn't sound proper.
Yeah. Let's see. I don't know if I can give too much of a preview here, but there we go. You can kind of see it. Kind of see it. So, tell you what, well, that much of a preview. How's that?
Oh wow, that corner is really, really sweet looking there, Jeff.
That's all the preview you're getting, folks. There we go.
So, but yeah, yeah. So you're saying you had that? Now, did you have that beer with the review, or did you have it like after the review?
I had that with the review.
Okay.
And there's going to be a beer review at the end of that video too.
Okay. So all right. So now you were now did you have anything to drink afterwards? Cocktail, whiskey.
Not right after. No, that video took me until 11:30 to finish the build, and then the outro of the video I shot the next day.
Oh, I figured you'd be so excited to get that particular video part and posting. You seemed so happy on Twitter that you'd probably celebrate with like a whiskey or something.
I did have an old fashioned during the outro. Well, I think I opened up the second half of the video by saying, "To hell with the beer, I want a cocktail."
Well, speaking of whiskey, though, so we've been talking about recently with this whole pandemic of how beer events have been going virtual. A lot of events in general actually have been going virtual, and why not? Why not include bigger boys? Why not include a whiskey festival? Let's have a whiskey from home virtual bourbon event that is free to attend. Nonetheless, even better. I actually personally signed up for this earlier today.
Did you?
Yes.
I saw this and I'm thinking about signing up.
It's free to sign up, so it's free, and they just basically notify you and say, "Hey, here's the link to all the events," and it's actually really cool. So it starts May 2nd, and it's an East Coast thing. So if you're on the West Coast, it's going to be a bit early to drink whiskey. It's going to start at 9 a.m. to 2:30 p.m.
I don't understand.
I know. I was like, for most people, that's not early, or it's early. But for me and Jeff, like that's just regular working hours. Yeah,
it's a Saturday.
Oh, it is. Oh, that's breakfast.
Right.
It's breakfast, lunch, and a snack. So, but again, one of the really cool things is it's free, and they're going to be streaming all sorts of different rooms. They're going to be streaming through YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, D-Links, Periscope, and Twitter. So they're going to be doing a multiple streaming service. They're going to be doing all different types of things, from cocktail making to food pairing to how to have a taster flight, how to have a taster party at your house. They're going to walk you through all these cool different things. They're even giving you a grocery list of saying, hey, if you want to go out and buy this and then do this live with us. I haven't seen anything about like screen sharing, like a Zoom
or anything
type
like
thing.
That, yeah.
But I wouldn't be surprised if they did. But they're going to teach you how to make cocktails. They're going to teach you how to eat properly, sample properly, and you can go and use the exact ingredients that they have. So they're giving you a grocery list on their website. So I think the article has a link in the website to go and register for free, which also gives you a grocery. It's whiskeyfromhome.com.
Okay.
So you can go there and they'll give you a grocery list of, hey, here's the whiskey we're going to be using. You're going to need this kind of food. You're going to need this. They give you even the hosts. There's going to be seminars. No one from the whiskey tribe was invited to this. Yeah. So they're not part of it. But it's cool. They have a seminar is called An Old Fashioned with a Twist. So if you like old fashions, you can go and watch that. That's from 1:05
to wheelhouse
to 1:15. Shopping list is bourbon or rye, maple syrup, Angostura bitters, and Luxardo
cherries.
Yeah. So it sounds, instead of simple syrup, it's probably just maple syrup.
Right.
So, but still, it's cool little things like that a lot of people don't know. So I think this would be really fun, even just to have on in the background, like streaming on a TV. Yeah, it would probably be pretty fun, especially if you already have like someone like you or myself that have you have a much bigger bar selection than I do. But I have enough whiskey or bourbon too. Like, I can go make that. I can go make that. 2:00 lunchtime on a Saturday. Yeah, I can have a little cocktail.
I can have a whiskey then. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I will say I did start quarantine with 14 bottles of whiskey. I'm down to 7.
Wait. What size the bottle?
Fifths.
I thought you were going to go with the half gallons.
No, I haven't polished off any half gallons yet. Although I did have to break into my one of my half gallons of Seagram's. But yeah, so
I
haven't restocked yet. I've been meaning to make time to restock.
Yeah, I haven't. Most of my restocking is usually just I go to my one beer store that I go to. They constantly are cleaning it with bleach now, so it's just like you walk in there and it just smells like bleach. It smells like a pool,
My local liquor store is call-in only. You have to call in and place your order over the phone, and then you will schedule a time to come pick up your order.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, I tried to go there on a spur-of-the-moment thing. I was picking up some pizza the other, I think last week. And started walking across the liquor store, and there's people in line every 6 feet. I think there were 12 people in line. So God. The line literally went down the block and around the corner. It's like, I don't think I'm getting liquor tonight.
Yep. Yeah. Well, it's like, I'll buy some more beer. Okay.
Right. Exactly. I have bought a lot of beer because there are a number of places that are doing beer deliveries to my house. So,
oh, yeah, I know.
So that's been nice.
Yeah, you live now a lot closer to all those breweries. So, yeah, they're in your range. I keep asking them because there's been a couple times the Vagabond, they are doing really cheap keg sales too.
Like
$50 for a keg. And without a deposit too. And I was like, can you guys deliver?
That's insane.
To me? It is insane. So you get 5 gallons for $50, and they're even doing, and it's all of their beers. They're like, hey, any one of these at $50.
That's right, because they're just going to expire.
They're just going to expire
because they've got a 2-month shelf.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right.
So they're selling like Imperial IPAs, not like 10%, but like 7.5%, 8%. You know,
that's some good stuff too.
They got everything there is easily drinkable. Like, oh yeah, I'd have that on draft, no problem. $50 for 5 gallons. But again, it's delivery only.
Yeah.
No, that's not true. They're doing pickup, but again, it's a scheduled pickup. And so it's just like, come on, guys, just deliver for me. I'll buy 2 kegs.
Yeah. Yep. So anyway, moving right along. Speaking of half my liquor being gone, I think that's a great segue. To why is the rum always gone? Is as John put it. And that is summertime is coming a little bit earlier in the schedule for Malibu than they anticipated. They're actually releasing their summer drinks early this year. And these are essentially sparkling cocktails in a can. They're not seltzers. They're
Carbonated cocktails.
yeah, carbonated cocktails. And some decent flavors there. I mean, I like Malibu. I usually keep Malibu Black on hand pretty much all the time. It's my wife's favorite liquor, so we've always got a fifth of it around. But strawberry and coconut, lime and coconut, passion fruit and coconut, and pineapple and coconut.
I mean, at least 3 of those I will have done before in cocktails for people or myself to be like, that sounds good. Pineapple and coconut especially.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just Malibu classic, right? You can't go wrong.
That's Malibu and pineapple juice. How do you screw that up?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, so I am curious to see now these actually come. Now they're only 5%. So I don't think they're going to be like super boozy or anything like that.
Right.
I'm then curious to see how much of that flavor does come out. 5%
but,
in what is that? 8 ounces? I think they said 8 ounces.
Right, but when I'm making cocktails for friends at home, it's
12
it's ice filling a 12-ounce glass, and then you put a shot, an ounce to an ounce and a half of rum in the bottom, and then top it with either pineapple or orange juice, and there's your Malibu and whatever you want. Well, and that's a 5 or 6% drink. It's not a real heavy drink.
I was gonna say maybe I just don't drink that way.
Right.
Yeah. So good. Splash of juice. Good to go.
Right. Yep. I've played poker against you. I understand.
But I would try these. I would be curious though of the calorie count. I didn't see anything about them being 100 calories or anything like that.
Right.
But I mean, if they're in the like 120 calorie range, which is like a lot of 5-6% beers are, that's still not bad. And if it does have decent quality, because I actually do like the coconut flavor of Malibu. So if it actually does have that same artificial coconut flavor that they're using, I would probably have a couple of these during the summertime.
It's pretty solid.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like Malibu. I add it to a lot of my tiki drinks that I make.
Yeah.
I make a phenomenal, in my opinion, tiki Mai Tai. That's a traditional Mai Tai, not just your, rum, pineapple, and orange juice with a crap ton of grenadine and sugar in it, but an actual lime and rum, and that's about it, and some orgeats or an almond syrup, and it's fantastic in that. So, in some slightly unrelated news, Drake, thank you for joining the Patreon, my friend.
Oh, what that
we got a new patron in the chat.
Well, that's related news.
Yeah, no, it's kind of related. But thank you so much for joining. By joining the Patreon, you do get exclusive access to my Discord server where you can chat throughout the week with myself, John, Rhett, Steve, everyone else here involved in the show, and over 150 people are in the Patreon right now, and so it's an ever-growing club, and happy to have you.
Yeah, I mean, it's like 150 and usually like constantly online.
Yes.
And just chatting up the huge selection of rooms that are always active. That's the funny thing is there are other channels that I'm part of a Discord, and it's like, yeah, here's a chat. Here's a chat. And it's only active for like 3 hours.
Yeah.
And no, this is active. Like you post anywhere on any channel, you're getting responses back and forth.
Yep.
Yeah,
legit. Most of the channels on my Discord are 24-hour channels.
Yeah,
and for only 150 people on a basically a BBS like this, that's an exciting amount of activity that happens on there. It's by far the most active Discord that I'm involved with.
Yeah.
And honestly, a good time. I don't just get on there because I'm obligated to, because you guys are paying me money. I literally enjoy doing the chat over there. I love the community that's built, even though it's in my name.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's fun to just be like, oh, I found something funny. I know 5 or 6 other people, Patreon, just in this chat room, that will find it funny. Not just, I got to post this just to stay active, blah, blah. I'm an admin. I'm a co-host. I got to do this stuff. No, it's like, no, I'm not here to talk to you. I'm here to talk to these other people that I've made friends with.
Yep. So legit a good time. Consider joining if you haven't done so. You will not be disappointed. I absolutely promise you that.
Now we were talking about quarantine though. And it's been what you said, 41 days for Oregon?
45 days for Oregon.
45 days. And some of
days.
Some of even longer. Have you seen some of those haircuts that are going out there?
I have. I think I talked about this very early on in the show, but as of March 11th, my hair was getting very, very much out of hand, and it was a couple of days, and Washington had already done a shelter in place, and they were rumoring doing shelter in place for Oregon, and I was waiting, and my hair was like beyond like haircut. My hair does this thing where if it gets beyond my ears, it starts to curl. Where it's like six straight to this point, and then it just curls, and then it looks like absolutely horrible on the outside. It's like I've got landing flaps coming down. So on March 13th, I went out and got a haircut.
Oh, so like
and it's literally the last thing that I did before quarantine. I've seen some of the quarantine haircuts coming around.
Yeah, I've seen some of the quarantine haircuts too.
I do a little quarantine beard going on right now.
I've seen some of that, but so I guess
it's a little thick.
Yeah. So most of the time, what we're seeing is like the mullet, the straight bangs. You know, people are just like, I don't know how to cut hair. I have to admit,
bring the bowl cut back.
Yeah, I had to admit, I tried cutting my son's hair, and I was like, I should have stopped when I first stopped. I was like, oh, that's pretty good. That's wrong. That's wrong. Oh crap, I should fix this. And it ended up just being a straight shot across, and you know, all hard angles. I was like,
yep.
Oh, I did it to my son.
Do you want some clippers, John? We have some clippers.
Well, that's the thing. And then he's like, always just like, move your head around. No, stand still. Because I tried like fluffing the back up too, kind of like, okay, I'll get kind of a side thing going and just do the top, you know, fluffy. No, he just wouldn't sit still for that. And once he has his mindset, like you get 10 minutes with him essentially, and 10 minutes a day. So, and now I just comb it. If I comb it over or something like that or fluff it up, it looks fine. But it's when it's all just matted down, you can still see the bowl cut.
Yeah.
But if you if you are in Australia and this has happened to you,
and your hair is starting to look like John's.
Yeah. Mine's nicer than theirs. You know, okay, hang on. This article we're about to post here. Okay, the first thing I noticed.
John, did you read the title of the show?
I did, yeah. This first image is not the hairstyle that they are claiming it to be.
Okay. I'm actually curious on seeing this one. That's not a mullet.
That's not a mullet. So there's a brewery in Australia, Moondog Brewery, that is offering free year supply of beer for the person with the best mullet in Australia.
Yeah.
And they're actually even giving away a case of beer to any person who even enters the competition. So all I have to do is tag them. So, but now if we scroll down,
that's not a bad deal.
No, it's not. So it's Australia's best isolated mullet. But if we scroll down, the image they show, that's a mullet.
It's kind of a mullet. I've seen some of the mullets where they kind of lift the front of it a little bit, and then it is the super long in the back, but it is kind of a straight line, or at least it's up in the front, and then it kind of waves back, and then it's a straight line here, and then it dips down the neck. I've seen that.
Yeah.
By the way, John, Novella Hub says $5 for John to cut his hair into a mullet.
No. You think $5 is going to get me to cut my hair?
I quite honestly, as much as I would like to say, hey, like $30 will cut John's hair, I don't know if there's a price tag I can get to that John would cut his hair.
No.
I don't think there is.
No. I mean, I will admit it's going to be cut probably once a barbershop can open, but it's not going to get cut like anywhere short. It's still going to be like, below my ears. So
Scotty says, I like John trying to defend his mullet by showing a worse one.
Whatever.
So is John moving to Australia?
Hey, I'll do it for free beer. Now that I would do.
Yeah, there you go.
Just go over there and be like, all right, free beer for a year? Okay.
John, $7. Thank you for the donation, by the way, Novella Hub. Thank you very much. Big Spoon, $10. What do you got? It hasn't shown up on my lower screen, and I can't read it up there yet.
It's money's for hops to do the
Joe Exotic. There's got to be a number, John. There has to be a number that we could get to.
Even your largest day of Patreon stuff wouldn't reach it.
Boy.
Reached it. So no.
Largest day of Patreon or largest day of YouTube?
YouTube super chats.
Because YouTube super chat has exceeded 300 on a couple occasions.
It would take more than that. It would take, I don't know, 6 digits probably.
My Patreon payout per month exceeds 6 digits on occasion.
If you want to give me that,
a month's worth of Patreon money. I don't know if the views on the video of me cutting your hair into a mullet would justify the month's worth of expense. Although I would certainly enjoy the experience.
Now you're probably gonna go talk. I bet Big Spoon's gonna go talk to Bites and be like, "Look, we can do a combination video, you and Jeff, and he'll fly in and you shave.
We got to pony up.
Yeah, pony up. We'll shave Nickelback's hair.
We'll shave Nickelback's hair while Jeff drinks a Bud Light Orange.
Yeah.
I'll drink a Bud Light Orange if John shaves his head.
No, this isn't gonna happen. This isn't gonna happen. No. But yeah, so
right.
If you
we tried
because you do have some fans in Australia.
Yeah, I do.
So if hey, let us know if you want to rock a mullet and get some free beer. Again, too, you can even get where is it? There's a case of the Jean Straub Van Dam beer that they have, a free 4-pack. So it's not a 6-pack.
Okay,
a free 4-pack of beer.
Still a 4-pack.
just for entering.
Yeah.
So I mean, heck, if you've already done it, just take a picture and get a tag, and you got a free 4-pack.
Right.
So
that's not a bad deal at all. Yeah, no, I have fans in Australia. I'm drinking buddies with Tech Yes City, and I'm pretty decent friends with Steve over there at Hardware Unboxed. So
yeah, maybe one of them will do it.
Yeah. No, I don't think any of them have really long hair.
Oh, well, I mean,
they're all pretty close to the vest, so to speak.
You can go get them some like hair extensions, and they can take it. They have to like wear it for like 3.
Yeah. just get some dreads or something.
Yeah, just get some dreads.
Yeah, here we go. All right, and last up for the beer news is I wanted to do a little bit of a follow-up. This isn't much of a news item, but it is still noteworthy. We covered a couple of, probably about a month ago, of Ryan Reynolds, who is the owner of Aviation Gin, a Portland ginnery, by the way. Oh, we throwing down?
Okay. Oh, you have it. I was just showing it off.
There we go.
We both support.
Here we go. Hashtag not sponsored.
Yeah, would like
this is my gin. Yeah, Ryan, give me a call, buddy.
Yeah,
let's do something. Let's do
I have a Deadpool.
Socially distant. Anyway, Ryan Reynolds, owner of Aviation Gin, put up a really cool program very shortly after quarantine started, and right after bars and restaurants started to close, because that's actually been happening in Oregon since the beginning of March, since about March 1st.
Yeah.
But Aviation Gin is setting up a fund where every bottle of Aviation sold online during the pandemic, they are donating 30% of proceeds to out-of-work bartenders to help them get through to be able to reopen, which I think is absolutely a phenomenal gesture. And very shortly after he went live with this proposal, Aisha Tyler did the same thing with Courage and Stone, which is her pre-bottled cocktail company. Yeah. They are doing all online sales, 30% donations of that. As soon as I heard both of these, I went online and I bought a bottle of each, just to show support, basically. That, and they're pretty good products.
Yeah, no, but I wanted to go buy those pre-made cocktails. Have you had those yet?
I haven't had one yet.
Okay.
I kind of wanted to wait because I kind of want to try them with someone,
Yeah.
and my wife's not an old fashioned or a Manhattan drinker.
I
So
saw that. I was like, oh, even the bottles look.
they're sharp. They're
Yeah.
glass corks. I
Yeah.
mean, they're really good looking
They look.
bottles.
Now they're not big bottles though, are they?
No, they're 200 mil. They're
Okay.
a fifth of a fifth.
Yeah. Well, they kind of look like something you'd get off a video game, like the little bit of health you
Yeah.
get. It really looks like a little potion type.
They're kind of
thing.
like old school mana bottles, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I was just thinking mana bottle.
Anyway, update to the Aviation Gin story is that there was a US only program. Aviation is actually extending that over to the UK, basically until the pandemic ends. This was originally going until, I think, April 15th, but I believe they've both extended the donation. So basically, as long as bars are out of work, we'll keep donating. And so if you are a fan of gin, if you're a fan of aviation, if you're a fan of helping people out and you'd like to get a bottle of gin for your efforts and for your money, toss a little bit towards aviation, and 30% goes back to bartenders who I'm sure could desperately need the money.
Yeah, it's a really great introductory gin, and even for an advanced gin drinker, it's nice to have around. I think it's an easy straight sipping gin.
Yes.
So it's a really nice gin, especially the price point too. It's not $30.
$30, yeah. I got the Ryan Reynolds signature edition, and so mine has an engraved signature on the front of it. There, it's kind of hard to pick up on the camera.
Mine just says Portland.
Yeah. Mine has Ryan Reynolds signature on the bottle there. So. I paid $5 extra.
I was gonna say, like, you paid extra.
I paid $5 extra to get Ryan Reynolds' signature on the bottle. I have had 1 ounce out of this, but I have a lot of gin on my shelf. I have almost as much gin as I do whiskey, which is also a dwindling supply as of late. But no, I think after shipping it was $43. For just the one bottle, yeah, and I mean, so it's a little bit more than paying in the store, but it wasn't like exorbitantly so.
Yeah, no, again, too, it's still a nice gin. It's a very enjoyable gin. It can be used for cocktails, smoothing. It is. I find it to be a sweeter gin than most. Aromatic is there, just it is very smooth, easy to drink, sweet type of a gin. Like I honestly think even like Bombay Sapphire smells more juniper than this one does.
Yes. Yeah, this has some botanicals in it, some of that sprucey, piney kind of stuff, but it's actually very light on that. They're there, and gin drinkers will appreciate that they're there, but this reminds me more of like a lemon peel, a very pleasant lemon flavor with some of those botanicals kind of floating on the edge. Yeah. And so it is a really solid intro to gin. Or like John said, for advanced gin drinkers too. I love this gin in a number of different cocktails. So anyway, that does it for the beer news. Wow, we're 40 minutes into the show.
Well, we had a long intro.
We had a long intro. Doing it remotely, the intros are a little bit longer, so the shows are going to drag out a little bit more. That we didn't have a lot of tech news this week, so we added 1 extra beer story, and we've been waxing poetic about a couple things.
Yeah.
It's my show. Get off my back. You just about done with yours over there, John?
I mean, I could be. I got like two more decent ones to go.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm going to. I was wondering if I wanted to jump into the next story, if we wanted to crack the next one open first.
Well, let's see, only best beer soaked pixel. Yeah, I don't, you know what? It's so funny. I swear my string quality went down early on.
It did. You're a little crunchy right now. The audio's great. The audio's great.
I don't know why. I just checked my up. My up is actually at 20 when I looked at it. Right. I don't know what's going. It's my Logitech. I don't know. I'm blaming Discord on this.
For the record, John is streaming up to Discord, and we are chatting via Discord. So it's not like even I'm rate limiting him.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I don't know. Maybe Yeah, maybe I'll get a capture card. Even if I got a capture card, I bet even if I was going through my A6400, you'd probably still be like, it's still choppy.
Yeah. Yeah, and part of that is Discord. It's a 720 stream to begin with, so it's not the greatest quality remote ever, but it seems to be pretty stable for us.
Yeah, it's fine. I mean,
yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Even on Discord, though, when I look at the chat between you and I, it's crisp on Discord. It's not on YouTube.
Right.
So
well, it's crisp because all you're seeing is your local USB feed. You're not seeing the upload stream. Me, I'm in glorious 4K on my side. John's going through a C920 right next to my other camera. But at least they're close together. So when I look at the camera, I'm looking at the camera, right? Yeah. John, I see you. There we go.
Yeah, I should move my screen over.
Yeah, Mr. Sit to the side and slouch. Gosh.
All right, there we go. All done.
All right, what's next?
What are you gonna? I did mine first last.
All right. I'm going with kind of an old standby. It's an unfiltered IPA, unfiltered double IPA.
Oh, okay.
It's a Stone. Can you guess it?
Well, there's. Wait, well, unfiltered
it's an
Stone.
Unfiltered double from Stone.
Well, I know Enjoy by 1120 was an unfiltered one.
Nope. Oh no, that one was burned on 1.3.
Is this the Lion, the Tiger? I forget what it's called. Something like that. It's a white label. Ooh,
you're so very close.
Did it come in that pack?
You are so very close.
I think that's a double. All right, what is it?
Fear Movie Lions.
Fear. I know it's Lions something. But yeah.
You had it. It was so close.
Yeah. So I knew it.
Yep.
Oh yeah. All right. Yeah. That's a good one. It's nice, hoppy, hazy.
Yes.
It's still quintessential Stone too because it has a good aggressive hop to it too.
Yes. Yep. So I'm just going to reuse my glass, so you're not going to get too much. Yeah, too much on the pour action there, but it pours nice and clear, and then all of a sudden it starts hazing up on you.
All right. Well, I'll go get mine while you're focused.
All right. But nice, thick, creamy head, very, very dense bubbles. Almost reminds me of like a Guinness style head, where it is very, very thick pack foam. Big Spoon, $5 donation. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the party now that Silbro has in the house. What is Silbrew doing in his house? Let's take a look at what Civil Brew. Let's take a look at what Civil Bro is doing in his house. I said Civil Brew, I think.
What's Civil doing? Is he on Discord?
It's a.
Yeah, for all John's confirmed. Yep. Yep. That's true. That's what's going on.
Yep.
I get throttled. Steve and Rhett don't.
Do you know what? I sabotage my own stream just to make fun of John. That's what I'm all about. John.
Quintessentially, yeah, probably.
I wouldn't put it past me, to be honest.
Yeah, I was like, Jeff, you're literally telling the truth right now.
Fair enough.
This is a LIC beer project, both sides of the rainbow. It's an interesting can art. It's got this flying elephant dragon with an interesting skeleton.
Did they make that in Minecraft?
I don't know. I honestly bought this purely
on the label. I will say there was one still frame of the label, and I would have bought that can too.
Yeah. Oh, is there? I'm getting choppy again?
Yeah, you're pretty crunchy.
Yeah. What the heck?
You're even dropping frames now.
Can I get out and then back in?
You can maybe.
Should we try this? I mean, we kind of got the time, but
we can try it. Yeah, let's go ahead and try it real quick. I'll just flip over to me. You can listen to me slurp on my beer for a second here. and watch me in stereo. Because when John's not on the show, I've got other Jeff, mirror universe Jeff, that takes over for him. Might as well go ahead and introduce the next article while John is jumping back in here. And that is that if you didn't watch SNL's cold open this last Saturday on the 25th, you missed, number one, a pretty good show, in my opinion. Even for a remote show, it was freaking hilarious. And the video editors, were having a heck of a time doing that one. But there's an interesting cameo that appeared on the cold open of that show with Brad Pitt, but it was behind the camera. And that's that the cold open with Brad Pitt was shot on Red's Prototype Komodo 6K camera, which is pictured right here in this Engadget article. This has been rumored to be coming out for quite a while, and it's expected to cost right around $5,000. But this is a 6K camera, I believe a full frame, or no, this is an APS-C size camera. It's an APS-C camera, or Super 35, but using Red's all-new 6K sensor. So yeah, if you want to see kind of what that camera looks like. Now, there was a green screen behind Brad. It was a very impromptu setup. The audio had more echo than my room does. So yeah, don't judge a book by its cover too much. But I will say the video looked pretty darn crisp and seemed to color correct right. There didn't seem to be anything that was noticeably off kilter. They also shot that bit with a Sigma 50 to 100 millimeter f1.8 lens, which is a remarkably sharp zoom lens, and basically the cousin to the Sigma 18 to 35, which is the f1.8, which is also a remarkably sharp zoom lens. Next camera for Jeff? No, the next camera for Jeff is a Zcam E2 S6, which is the Super 35 S6 or 6K from Zcam. I am pretty much 100% sold on the Zcam ecosystem at this point. I have a Zcam E2 that is my go-to daily driver camera. It is the workhorse for my channel. I took it to CES this year. It worked phenomenally as a run and gun. It works great as a studio camera, as an A-cam, as a B-roll camera. It has been everything I ever could have dreamed it to be for the money that I spent on it, which was not an insignificant sum, I will say. It was about $2,000 for the camera body. But you're crunchy again. You were looking good, and all of a sudden it blacked out and you're crunchy.
Oh yeah, it kicked me out, and I don't know why.
Huh. Oh, there he goes again.
Yeah, there we go.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Huh. Weird. I'm blaming you because I don't have this problem with the other two.
I'm using default settings.
Blaming you.
Yeah, it's like I saw that your finger.
It's the eyes you can fool, but the fingers got to be exact.
Well, I'm gonna open my beer. I know most people can't see very clearly.
Oh, I still get enough to appreciate it.
If this is, then maybe I'll do a review. I don't know.
There you
go. Ooh, very tropical aroma.
Yeah?
Very.
Little guava, passion fruit kind of thing, or?
Bubblegummy, guava, kiwi, some lime, lemon. There's an interesting, almost soap though. There's an interesting back aroma that it's not very pleasant, but it's a mix. It's very pleasant up front, and then this like right at the back of my nostrils, like, that doesn't smell good. So we'll see how it tastes though. Well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
The body on that is just like pillowy soft. What?
What? Sorry, I just saw the image in the Discord. Civil, you win the night.
I
hands down.
I'm gonna save that. That's great. Oh my
I think
God.
that's a new Twitter profile pic. That has to be. That's freaking great.
And again, if you're not part of Discord, the people
I'm gonna
on here
retweet that.
are awesome.
I'm retweeting that.
You just make sure to tag me. Add it to my favorites right there. Oh my God. That's fantastic.
Follow me on Twitter, and you're about to get this glorious GIF put together by my OG over on Twitter or over on the Discord. That's funny. Or Civil Bro, excuse me. Skull says I didn't know I needed that. Can we just have 8-Bit John instead?
Oh my gosh. I mean, I love it and I hate it every time. At least my hair.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Oh my gosh.
I need a fully crude bridge, damn it.
Yep,
No kidding.
Okay. So again, if you're not part of Jeff's Discord, it's a fantastic community.
Anyway, Fear Movie Lions, great danky IPA. It is quintessential stone. It is over the top, punch you right in the mouth, kind of a hop flavor. That it's very oily. It coats your tongue, but in a way that is very, very pleasant. If you like IPAs,
yeah, you have to like this. This one is like pillowy soft. You taste that weedy body, but the aggressive hop profile at the back end, I don't know if it's balanced out. I think this is definitely probably one that needs a warm up.
So it's citrus, wheat, hops progression.
That's the thing.
That's
the aroma, but then you like drink it, and it's like overly bittering hops and a haze. So it's the aroma is very citrus, tropical, and almost a little bubble gum. But then, so you're expecting, oh, this is juicy. It actually tastes more like an old school IPA, very earthy, dirt, grass, a little bit of pine, but then it has the body of a really good haze, and it's like a lot of cake, or yeasty mouthfeel. So it's coating my tongue. It's leaving a little bit of residue on there. So the aromatics and the taste aren't the same. They don't work. So it's good, but it's not like the label is way better than the beer. Let me put it that way. So
Civil's on fire tonight. Yeah. Anyway, I gotta stop paying attention to the Discord, otherwise we're never gonna get through the show. And Skull, I beat you to that by almost a solid 30 seconds. Man, not doing a show too. What's your excuse? Anyway, in the clip on SNL, which again is fantastic, and it's linked down in the video description. Brad Pitt played Dr. Anthony Fauci, who is the renowned left-hand man to Donald Trump at the moment, and seems to be the only competent person working in the White House on the pandemic response, probably because the pandemic response team was thrown out and canceled. Not to get too political here, but anyway, it seems to be kind of this eye in the center of a storm that's going around him, and kind of the only person that's delivering true facts. And the segment was just awesome. And at the end of the segment, he pulls off the wig and the glasses and whatnot, and he thanks Dr. Fauci in person and breaks character. And I thought that was a phenomenal nod to a man who's doing some pretty incredible work at the top. Anyway, back to the camera talk. I thought it was sharp. I thought it looked great. There's no real release date or really anything outside or coming from Red themselves that says, yes, this camera is coming out at X date for X price. These are all rumored specs and rumored things, but this segment was shot on a red Komodo 6K Super 35 camera. So we'll see if the rumored $5,000 price point turns out to be true. I will say, even at 6K Super 35 and $5,000 for a body, knowing Red and their ecosystem, you're probably looking $15,000 to get started up, because you need to buy the battery backplate adapter, you're going to need to buy the screen, you're going to need to buy this and that. And if you watch Linus's video of unboxing the Red weapons, then you know how expensive Red accessories are to clip onto the brain and the sensor of the body. Whereas the Z-Cam, it's literally open the box, plug in a lens and a battery, and start shooting. I mean, I needed to add a screen too, but you can add whatever, studio monitor or a remote monitor you want. So yeah, I like Z-Cam. I'm going to stick with Z-Cam for probably quite some time, as long as they're still around.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'll never probably buy that. No, that's cool.
You said a year ago you'd probably never need to upgrade your camera too. Look at you now.
Yeah.
With your A6400 and your Sigma lenses.
Yeah, those are nice lenses. I'm still learning how to use properly. So it's getting better. I think I'm getting some cool shots in there every now and then.
I will say, even though I've moved off of the Sony ecosystem for everything but my vlogging stuff, which is just an A5100 and a 16-50 kit lens, I am super jealous of your Sigma 30mm. I freaking love that lens.
No, it's a great lens. I get sharp, crisp image from that lens. It's basically like I even switched to a Canon 50mm with the adapter. No, that Sigma is still better.
Yep.
It's still better. I mean, it's just edge crispness is just nice.
Yeah, the Canon Nifty 50 is great, but there is something about that Sigma 30 especially. Like the 16 is really good too, but that 30 is just otherworldly crisp.
It is, and again, for the price, it's not. I mean, it's more than the Canon. This has, it's just, I think it was like $220. So it's not horribly expensive. Especially for
it's $250, $300-ish.
Yeah, depending upon the time where you buy it, whatever. It's a nice lens. I use that's the lens I usually use for the B-roll. If I'm looking for a good shot, close-up stuff, detailed, that's the one. And still, and my setup, it's hard to do because I really need like a bigger monitor. I'm still going off of the Sony screen. And when you got a 3-inch screen, it's hard to tell what every aspect is focused. And even when you're using the those dots, I forget what they call it, the focus area. But anyways, even when you're doing that, it's hard to see on the 3-inch screen. So I need to get a bigger one to really pinpoint my focus. And again, you know how it is. A one-man show, a one-man production is hard. You're always like, I want to get this B-roll. Like, well, I got to stand behind the camera to do this. Is this good shot? Moving parts. And then mine has moving parts where I have liquid going and constantly moving and bubbles moving.
I've got to mount a CPU in a set amount of time to match with my slider timer.
Oh,
So it's not like I'm not moving either. I'm moving camera and equipment at the same time.
Yeah.
And I've got to sync all those up. So
again too with a one-man production, it's hard. It's fun, but it's fun when you get it. It's super gratifying when you get it right. What's going on now? Look better.
No. Bite my bits. $2.06. Nickelback looks better in 144p.
Good thing I wasn't around earlier. He might have actually paid that amount of money to shave my head.
He's been beckoned. He's been following me everywhere lately. It's like he doesn't have anyone else that he can talk to, so he just rides my coattails. So annoying. God, this guy. Telling you. Anyway, I think we've stalled it long enough. Let's go ahead and move on to kind of the biggest news of the week, and that is some potential AMD 4000 series desktop related news.
kind of related.
Right. Well, jumping over to so this article comes from Digital Trends, and they're talking about basically Zen 3 as a whole. And most of this article talks about their recently released and some of their upcoming mobile hardware, the 4800H, the 4900H, the 4500U, 4600HS. So there's a lot of different parts that are going out and about right now. And they're basically just rehashing AMD's slides based on the performance that they expect and the power and or power consumption and battery life on their reference based laptops. And it's like, I've seen all this before. I've seen the song and dance. I heard it at CES. I've seen it from MSI with their laptops, and it all looks great. But if we scroll down here quite a ways, there's a little bit on Ryzen 4000 desktop. Ironically enough, putting in into an 11.5X Intel slot. By the way, I am very, very welcoming, but I don't think you should put a pinned socket into a pinned chip. It's probably not the best way to go. Anyway, they break into a little bit of AMD 4000 desktop talk and the release of their upcoming X670 motherboards. So this is going to be the newest Zen 3 compatible motherboards, the enthusiast style motherboards coming out. This is going to be a 7 nanomillimeter plus architecture. So a little bit of refinement to their existing 7mm architecture that's on the Zen 2 CPUs that we know and love in the 3000 series. And possibly add, it's going to unify the cache. That's the big change right here. So if you're looking at the center picture, it's going from two 16 megabyte caches to unifying the cache with a 32 megabyte and up cache instead of split 16s. So basically there's going to be quite a bit of refinement to that I/O chip, possibly dropping the I/O chip from 12 millimeter. Why can't I say millimeter tonight? Seriously.
Well, that's like me saying HTC or
yeah. Yeah, the VR company THC is
the VR company THC.
Whoa.
Hey, now that's a great partnership. THC with HTC.
Which you see, right? That's a match made in heaven right there. One of you has to change your name. But a lot of the work, I think, for Zen 3 is going to be that refinement of that I/O chip rather than the Zen processors themselves, or the Zen chiplets themselves. In that we're going to see a little bit more unified on architecture on the cache, probably shared cache across all of the chiplets rather than splitting them off to, one chip here and one chip here. And that can only lead to better performance, as kind of the cache has been the secret sauce that has let AMD catch up in single-threaded performance up to Intel. But the interesting nugget here was that X670 boards are expected to launch in Q4 2020, which is very, very interesting.
Well, that's what's stated now is the thing. So you don't know. Possibly their warehouse might be a little short.
It may be, but right now this article is from 2 days ago.
Yeah, but the information could be
HTC plus THC equals THX from Skull. Whoa. Whoa. But this article is only from 2 days ago, so this is going off some pretty recent information, although take it with a grain of salt because they also tried to put an AMD chip into an Intel motherboard. Again, there you go. But there's an anticipated launch of the X570 motherboards in Q4 of 2020, which would put it sometime between, October, November, December of this year. That would mean a pre-CES launch of X670 motherboards and associated processors that would include Zen 3. So are we going to see an October launch event? Which is typically when they've been launching their Epic and Threadripper style CPUs. Are we going to see an October style press conference that says Zen 3 desktop and RDNA 20 chips are also on the way? Right now we have Navi 10 based GPUs, which is the 5700 XT, the 5600 and the 5500 based GPUs. There's also speculation that at the same time they are going to release their big Navi 20, and that's supposed to go blow for blow with 2080 Ti and whatever's up next gen for NVIDIA. So kind of some big news there that we didn't think we were possibly going to see this until probably CES, and all of a sudden now they're pushing for like maybe a month 10 announcement, as is pretty typical of AMD. But like I said, that's been relegated towards Epic-based chips, not towards the desktop kind of stuff. So I'm kind of excited. I'm kind of excited for, number one, some news to actually finally drop this year, as this has been the year of cancellations, not the year of increasing your timeline. Or shortening your timeline, rather.
Sorry, I'm still trying to do my... This is kind of irritating.
Ignore the camera. Your audio's fine. I don't care about your video. You're not that good looking anyway.
I care. It's not about
really?
me. It's about presenting what my beer looks like. I do care what I look.
John, I've seen you on a Tuesday morning. You don't care how you look.
Yeah, well, you just rolled over as well. We don't talk about that.
You said we wouldn't talk about that.
I don't like this beer.
Really?
I do not like it. It's super acid burning. There's some really actually cool, although I will say I'm getting some really cool ideas for shots.
Yeah.
But it's super fine bubbles, and it's not pleasant going down the throat, and it's leaving that burning sensation.
Yeah. And what was really funny is I was going to mention when I was reviewing the Anchorage one a couple days ago, the really funny thing about that review is I said, this is a hazy beer. This is the New England style beer. And it's thick, and you can taste some of that lactose and that creaminess that comes along with that. And I said, but this one is one that's not really offensive. It has all of the good hallmarks of that New England style IPA and all the characteristics that you're looking for in it, but it doesn't have that acid burn, and the burn is, and what little acid burn is there is not detracting from this beer at all. So I posit you this. I don't know if this is just genuinely a good beer, or if I'm just getting so used to drinking the New England style because I've been forcing myself to try to like them that I'm starting to enjoy them more.
No. That's because I gave you that one. That's a quality. Because I had it before and I enjoyed it. I was like, Jeff.
And I hoped it was, because I gave it really, really good marks.
No, that one's a quality one. No, there are I think though, because most of our biggest complaints were about a year ago, and especially the Pacific Northwest, a year ago, the hazy beers were still at its, and I think a lot of people learned how to dial back just dumping pounds of hops to it, to where they learned the ratio of, hey, we can still get the exact same amount of flavor and aromatic with, pounds less. If we just add it during this time and this boil.
Interestingly enough, there is such a thing as too many hops.
Yes. I have even done a beer. I did one for 5 gallons. I called it 11 stone, and I did 11 different hops. Or 12 stone. I did 12 different. Okay. I did 12 ounces of different hops for a 5-gallon beer, which is a lot. So an ounce of every hop that I had in my freezer at the time. It turned out horrible. Oh, it was so bad. It was so bad. It was just and I even
maybe pare it down to 4 ounces and make a 12 hop beer.
Yeah,
because Rogue does their hop series. They do their 6 hop, 7 hop, 8 hop, 9 hop, 10 hop. Yeah, and those are all very, very well balanced. Well, so I know it can be done.
It's hop, but then they don't tell you how many equal ounces of each hop they do. So they can say, I think the Rogue ones aren't equal portions of the 10 hops.
Right.
To where mine was equal portions. It was 1 ounce of 12 different hops, whether it was bittering, aromatic, or whatever, or just some kind of just, hey, we'll just call this a hop. Because I had a couple wild hops.
So sorry to interrupt you here. Becky Poo says, so the beer may be terrible, but what type of glass is that? That is a Spyglass? Spyglass? Yes. Yeah.
Actually, I was actually looking at glassware. So technically, these are the new beer tasting glasses because they have the thin body at the top or bottom, sorry, and a bulb at the top, providing more of an aromatic experience and brings up the aromatics. And actually, technically, I should have used this. This is a stout glass. I should have used this one, which has ridges on it, which helps move the carbonation up and gives you more aromatic, but it was dirty.
Basically what they've done is they've taken the same concepts of a Glencairn whiskey tasting glass and they've applied it to a beer.
They just stretched it.
Exactly. They stretched it out. They gave it a little bit thinner bottom because you obviously have a lot more liquid to hold. But it really does actually help cycle that beer up, and then the shape of the glass actually helps funnel the aromatics directly into your nose. I know it sounds weird, but there's actually some fluid mechanics behind all of this shape that do back up. You smell the beer and the whiskey better in a glass like this than in an open rocks glass or just an open pint Pilsner glass.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, no. So technically, like if you're going to have a Pilsner, you'd want a glass a bit thinner like this because you want, what it does is it forces more carbonation and the bite to be very thin and forces it straight up because Pilsners and lagers don't have a whole lot of aromatic, so they're trying to get it forced and pushed right up. This is more of a floral flow and to stay consistent. The nice part too is the grip actually helps. Also, one of the things I learned out is to help warm the beer up.
Yep.
Exactly. Yeah. So, but you're warming the bottom up, and then as you're drinking it, it creates a bubble, probably similar to the whiskey, but it creates that bubble, which helps continue keeping the aromatics going.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. The whiskey, not so much. It's smooth all the way through, and so you're just rolling it in the glass, whereas that one you're actually agitating every time you do it.
I thought about doing a video on different glassware, but the problem is, I mean, like, it's so nuanced that an average beer drinker, they don't care. They honestly do not care. It's
the average beer drinker doesn't, but I would also say you don't necessarily cater to the average beer drinker. You're catering to beer drinkers who are looking up beer reviews on YouTube.
Yeah, true. Well, so, I think mine's also came to be a bit more entertaining too. Of like, oh, that's a character.
Well, you try.
I try. I mean, I try to do something humorous. I mean, I don't know. I think I'm entertaining, somewhat. My 3-year-old son likes watching me.
Big Spoon, $2 donation. Hops, chug beer in boot and bite my this cord is best.
Is best. Oh, bite my
this cord. So I'm assuming he means bite my bits Discord is best. Yeah. Which the fact that you already subscribed to his and then you subscribed to mine, Big Spoon, leads me to believe mine might be a little better.
Well,
you were looking for something more, and you found it.
I'm a Patreon on Bite just because I was like, oh, I like the guy. He's got some good videos, some good content. I mean, I don't really need to see a video on a.
Oh no! Vacuum. Where did John go? We seem to have lost him.
I don't need to see videos of a vacuum or him like trying to put Dremel on his wall or anything. That doesn't really cater to me. But whatever, it's kind of cool. But the Discord, nowhere near as active as Craft. So, I mean, I constantly post a beer picture on there. They're like, it's not Bud Light Orange. It's stupid.
Yeah, it's stupid. You're stupid.
Yeah, it's like,
stupid.
Bud Light Orange, the only way to go.
Basically.
Bruh. Yeah. Although simple.
Why are you pouring that beer into a glass, bro?
Yeah, drink it. Oh, right. Let's you want to? Where are we at? Where? Okay, we can hit
AMC news.
Yeah, but yes, AMC news.
Yep.
So with all of this going on, there has been an upsurge. This I do you want? I can talk about it if you don't care.
I don't even care at this point.
Well, so with the whole I'll just call it the pandemic.
Pandemic. Yep.
So
I will say I do notice YouTube's not promoting my video tonight. We only have 50 something viewers at peak, 68 viewers at peak. Usually I'm close to 200. So YouTube's doing something screw with my promotion lately.
Did you mention something in the comments or in your what's the title?
Title is nothing offensive.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, nothing in the called description.
Yep. There's nothing in the description. There is COVID-19, but it's related to the aviation announcement. That's the only time I mentioned it. There's also Dr. Anthony Fauci.
That's it right there.
That's probably the red flag.
That's the red flag right there. I'll guarantee you. He said COVID-19 and Dr. Anthony Fauci, and boom, flag.
Boom. Demonetized.
Yep, pretty much. I would
get off my platform.
But speaking of the COVID-19, there have been movie releases, and they, especially the ones early on in March, there were a couple of, I wouldn't say they were big blockbuster ones, but it was the Trolls movie. If you have kids, they particularly like that movie. Trolls 2 with Justin Timberlake and I forget what the actress's name is. Apparently was a semi-successful cartoon in 2017. The sequel came out now, and they decided instead of going to theaters, they did a direct-to-digital release. And a couple other movies that were supposed to be done did the similar thing. And what ended up coming out was pretty successful, actually. I don't know if it was just because people were wanting content to watch, or if these movies were actually pretty good. But what it kind of did was cut out the middleman. It cut out the theater, and for them taking a cut of the profit that they usually do. So, for example, Trolls 2, this animated cartoon that for the first one only profited 70 million, that I forget, but and that was after 77 million, and that was after the theaters took all of its revenue. So it grossed 154 million, and so the studio only took in 77. Well, with direct-to-consumer digital downloads or digital rentals, I should say, this new version of Trolls took in 100 million within 3 weeks of its premiere. With that, Universal has stated that from now on, all of their stuff will be. My son wants to say night. Night, buddy. Hi, buddy.
Sorry, John. Someone wanted me to replace you with a picture of the Duras sisters, so I went ahead and did that.
That's here, Jeff. You want to take over for just like 2 minutes?
Got it.
All right.
Anyway, so Trolls made way more money on the direct-to-sales DVD sales and obviously merchandising that they did off of the actual video production and theatrical releases of the movie. And that was already kind of like a brewing topic in Hollywood and with a number of different production and studio companies. This pandemic has kind of brought that to the forefront of the argument because right now theaters are closed. And so pretty much every single production and distribution company has gone ahead and decided we're going to go ahead and release our movie digitally right now. And so I think Disney was actually one of the first. They actually bumped up the release of The Rise of Skywalker to digital. I think by 4 weeks? It was over a month, I want to say. Just said, hey, because you're not going to be able to go out and buy the DVD here, you can have it on digital right now. there's been a number of movie releases that all of a sudden they said they were in theaters for a week and then they cut the theatrical release and just released them on digital. There's some that were planned for theatrical release that are only releasing on digital right now because of the pandemic. Because of that, it's brought along a new kind of paradigm of how this industry is going to be working. And NBC Universal is kind of at the forefront of this, and they have said that from now on, we will be simultaneously releasing our movies both for digital consumption, so selling you either a digital license to watch it on whatever their streaming platform is, or maybe some kind of subscription service, and we will do a theatrical release. And then later on, we will release it for physical medium. Here's the catch. Is it's also going to hurt the cinemas or the theater companies quite a bit. So your AMCs, your Cinemarks, your whoever else, I don't even know. But are you back?
Yeah, I'm back, sir.
All right, thank you, Duras Sisters, for taking time out of your very busy schedules to join me here on Talking Heads. I sincerely appreciate it.
Sorry, my 3-year-old just insisted I tuck him.
Yep. Anyway, so this is obviously going to hurt the theaters if all of a sudden they're being, kind of introduced to the mistress, if you will, of the entertainment industry, which is digital consumption on demand in the comfort of your own home. I think I've talked about this on the show once before. I was a season ticket holder for Oregon football for 6 years, I want to say. And my dad for almost 20 years before that. He had his seats, and then when I got old enough to start, I moved away and didn't live in the same area anymore. And so I bought my own tickets and started going to games on my own. I bought tickets for 6 years. Well, all of a sudden, Oregon went to the national championship game. Well, I bought the $450 general admission for a pair, and you see all 7 home games. And 2 or 3 of the home games usually suck. We're playing Portland State, or we're playing, New Mexico State, or whoever the Little Sisters of the Poor was at the time. But then you also got to see your Stanford, your Washington, your USC, you got to see the big games as well.
Yeah.
Right, your Civil War. You also got to see those games as well. And so it really wasn't a bad deal for $450 to spend 7 Saturdays down in Eugene watching football. The problem with it is it takes your entire day, regardless of what time of day the game is, unless it's a 7:30 p.m. kickoff. If it's a 12:30 or a 4:30, it doesn't matter. You're in traffic for 2 to 3 hours, either getting down there or coming home. One of the two, you're going to be caught in traffic. You're spending 5 or 6 hours there at the site, and then you're driving home. And so whatever plans you had on that Saturday are just gone. Yeah. Which to me wasn't a big deal for $450 to get live entertainment and go to the game. However, very shortly after Oregon went to the national championship game for the first time, the ticket prices started, well, I don't say started creeping up. They were already starting to creep up. They literally more than doubled. I went from paying $450 for a set of general admission tickets for 7 home games to the price jumping to $1,250.
Jeez.
And I stepped back and I went, $1,250 buys a really freaking nice TV. So I bought a TV, and I've watched every other game from home.
Yep.
And it was like, it's no longer worth me spending my money to go out and view that entertainment at that level, because number one, I get my entire Saturday to do whatever I want, minus the 3 hours that I'm watching that game. I don't have to sit in traffic. I don't have to buy concessions. I was already spending $1,200 to go anyway, because you buy the hot dog and the ciders and the kettle corn and whatever else you're getting at the games. And you're only spending $75-$80 to get in the door, but then you're spending another $100 on food.
Yeah.
And for what? 3
hours of entertainment and then being stuck in traffic for 2 hours.
Right. For 3 hours of entertainment and 9 hours of other stuff. And all of a sudden I went, $1,250 buys a really nice TV. And so I bought myself a 55-inch 4K 120 hertz screen, and I've never looked back. The same thing might happen to the cinemas if all of a sudden we go basically away from the cinema model to direct to DVD models.
Well, my other thought on this article was that I do wonder if that, because so my initial thought was actually more of or a slightly different approach, was kind of the Netflix. Now Netflix seems to approve anything, but with movies like Troll, when they're usually, they're going to make a mild profit. They're not going to be no Toy Story, Disney, bring in cash cow. But because they're not having to share the profits, there might be even more movies being bankrolled to be pushed out. So this might even be better for the movie industry or lower paid actors, because I mean, the one big thing for movies nowadays is I want to see the big actor. I want to see the Ryan Reynolds, the Brad Pitt. I want to see these big name the Robert Downey Jr.'s, the Marvels, these big actors, and it's costing them X amount in these budgets. Well, this might actually even drop down the prices, because the theater or the theaters might be able to bring in more because they're not having to cut the theaters in on the prices. So we might be even seeing more bankrolled movies, more things, more good projects, or diverse. I shouldn't say good, diverse. Projects coming out, because I mean, you take a look at Netflix and movies popping in left and right. What also big named actors and directors behind it, but it's more like their pet project. And a lot of people kind of disregard them because, it's a Netflix, blah, 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 whatever. Where this, if it is a universal production and it's coming off of their, possibly they might even create in a couple of years their own streaming service of where, hey, you just pay a monthly subscription of, or it's a free app, and here's all of our rentals, but it's only on our site. Something like that.
To me, it's really interesting that the theaters sell one argument, and this argument has been around literally since the day I've been born, and all the way back to drive-in movies, is that theaters only make money off of their concession sales.
Concessions, yeah.
Right, that's the argument.
Yeah.
But also I see NBC Universal saying that Trolls 2 box office 156 million, and the studio only saw 74 of that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Someone's lying in this situation. That money went somewhere.
I assume when they say the concession, I say that's probably majority of their concession. I mean, because there's popcorn doesn't cost $13.
Let me be the contrarian. They're making money on concessions. They're probably also making money on ticket sales.
Yes. That's it. Well, exactly. I mean,
like, let's not confuse that.
Even when you and I were probably dating, or even before we were dating, when we were
dating,
not our wives. Say our wives.
What the hell?
Well, we were talking about sleeping together. It's past 10, right? No, it's not. Damn it. Okay,
we're at 9:30. John, we can't.
John,
you said you wouldn't talk about that.
Even before we were dating our wives, I remember ticket prices. Ticket prices were cheap. I mean, we're talking $7, $8. They're what? 25?
No, when I was dating my wife, it was $4.50.
Yeah, my wife in Eugene, there was $1.50 theater. I was like, and it was a
Cinemark 12.
Yes, exactly. A week. It was like 2 weeks.
That's where I grew up, man.
2 weeks after the movie came out, it was there. I was like, oh yeah, I'll wait 2 weeks. I'll just go to that. I don't.
Yeah, it was the $1.50 movies. They still had full concession stands, but you'd pay $1.50 to get in. They didn't care who was coming in or how many tickets they sold. It's like, let me take your ticket. You'd give them one ticket, and 6 people would walk in. They'd go, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, exactly.
They didn't care.
And it was right next to the food court, so you just like stuff your face and go in there. It's like, I don't need concessions. Totally. Best. By the way, I have to say, best Mongolian grill. I have to say they had a Mongolian grill that was so good there.
That one is okay. Have you been to Chang's in Salem?
Yes. No, I've been to Chang's. No. So here's the difference. the difference between the Mongolian.
You're starting to piss me off. No. So Chang's has. I've been to Chang's multiple times, and then I love Chang's. One of my favorites.
This one blew my mind because it was cheaper than Chang's. It was set up just like Chang's, but really tiny. You pick up a bowl, 2 bowls if you want.
No one knows what we're talking about right now, by the
way. And you just fill up your sauce and your meats, your proteins, and your noodles, whatever, your veggies, and they cook it on that giant skillet wok thing.
Yeah.
So where Chang's is concave outward, and you see all your juices kind of like slide off, right? Or this one was incave, and it's stuck in there, and all the juices swirled. And when you got your plate, it was just drowning in that sauce that you made.
See what the Mongolian there in Gateway was actually more of a wok style.
Yes, it was
Mongolian.
more of a wok style.
There's also a wok-in at Wilsonville, and they do a very similar style of cooking.
It's more like they call themselves Chinese.
Yeah, it's the walk-in, and it's a Chinese-style restaurant.
But
it's the stir-fry style, shaking the soy sauce and everything inside the wok.
Inside the wok, yeah.
But I just learned to drown my stuff in the liquids, and you get a really, really hearty meal.
I have spent years.
No one knows what we're talking about.
I know, but I have spent years trying to find the exact teriyaki sauce that they use at Chang's, because it's thick, and it's way more thick than anything else.
It's good.
And I cannot find those rice wraps. They're thicker than anything else I've ever seen. And they say they don't make it in-house. Mm-hmm. I've never seen any distributor do it, because basically you're making your own.
I bet we could ask Cash and Carry, and they may know.
I asked because I asked them, and they're like, "Oh no, we're that's just a rice roll." And I'm like, "The ones you have here, they're not those." The best essential Asian burrito you could ever have. Oh my God, those things are good.
Civil Bro says 56 people now know where to get Chinese food in Oregon. That's exactly right.
Yes, exactly. No, it's 100%. It's the best. It's like
there's Lee's Kitchen in Springfield. That's an amazing Chinese place.
Yeah.
There is Chang's Mongolian right next to Lancaster Mall, in between Lancaster Mall and Target.
It's a micro chain. There's like 3 in Oregon.
Yeah, there's 3 in Oregon. There's one up in Glen.
There's one in Tiger. There's one in Oregon City, and there's one in Salem.
In Salem, right?
Tualatin, sorry.
But yeah, no, that one is phenomenal. I love going there, and you eat free on your birthday. So.
It's free on your birthday. It is a bit bendy though, but it's all you can eat. So it's $19 per person. Yeah. All you can eat.
Yeah, no, it's $9 per person.
Is it? No, lunch
it's $7.50 for lunch, and I think it's $9.75 for dinner.
No, it's way more now.
No, I went there just the other day. It was $30 for my family to eat. It was $30. Anyway, there's also Chen's Family Dish. They have a one in Lincoln City, one in Dallas, I want to say, and then there's another one more towards the valley. But that is some of the best Chinese food I've ever had as well.
There's 7 in Oregon.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
they're bigger than I thought.
2 in Beaverton, Tigard, Milwaukee, Portland, Gresham, Salem.
Yep. So,
but yeah, great. Honestly, if you're looking for fresh Asian food, not Thai, but more Chinese oriented, you can make your own sauces. Good. Go there. Go there. Good. So good. You get it fresh.
I think I've tweeted out pictures from my meal there, and it's amazingly good. Anyway,
so good. Anyway,
let's move on. Let's move on. We got way off track on that.
So we both, Jeff, you and I both own Switches, right?
Yes.
We know a number of people that own Switch. I enjoy Nintendo Switch. I think it is a revolutionary gaming platform.
I love it. I love the platform.
Yeah, I really. It is not your big hardcore gamer. It is like basically you're on the go. I want a really good handheld game that I can play on my TV or go. And it's that perfect medium balance. I think Nintendo just really knocked it out of the park. yeah, I'm not going to go play no, Modern Warfare on this thing or anything like
But
that.
decent performance with amazing portability.
Yes,
And
exactly.
that's what I want out of a handheld. It doesn't
Yeah.
have to be a triple A, The Witcher 3 or anything like that. But
Yeah.
at the same time, we still have,
A lot of
Skyrim and
Yeah, and even the AAA Nintendo items.
Animal Crossing, Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, exactly. And was it the Nintendo or Metroid Prime 4 was just announced?
Yeah.
It's coming out next first quarter next year. I really want that. What's going on?
Scotty says, "You guys suck. Now I'm hungry." I'm hungry now too because those are my favorite restaurants. Every time I have to drive through a couple of these towns, I go through and pick up Chinese food, whether I'm hungry or not, because I will eat it.
Yes, no. So the last time I was on, I was so craving Asian. I went and broke down and stole my son's 25-cent top ramen and concocted a bunch
of teriyaki chicken.
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, "This is so good." It was
See, I make my own teriyaki burgers, and I make my own teriyaki sauce, and so it's a real thick, hearty teriyaki sauce like you find over at Chang's.
Yeah.
And that's how I do my teriyaki drizzle for my burgers with a pineapple ring on top, and it's so good.
Teriyaki sauce is great. Pineapple.
Those are teriyaki burgers, man.
So the other great thing about the Switch is that these third-party smaller companies are able to develop really awesome games and a really cool platform then to just launch them. I mean, we're getting so many of these small developer companies that are doing it. Well, what happens when Nintendo launches your game without you knowing it? Well, that's what happened, essentially, to a RPG game, the Indivisible. I personally never played it. It looks kind of cool.
Yeah,
but
it looks like a traditional JRPG, Final Fantasy, Chrono Trigger kind of style.
Yeah, Chrono Trigger, but it looks like it has a bit more like the anime graphic.
Yeah,
type thing, and so a bit more updated. But I guess as of yesterday, it has been available in the Nintendo store, and the development company didn't even know about that they got released.
They went, "We're on the Switch?"
Yeah, like, what?
Huh?
When did this happen? So they ended up tweeting out that our team found out because on Twitter sent us congratulations. I had no idea. So
they went, it's a really lovely point, but we didn't make it. And also they used a very early build, so it doesn't have co-op or multiplayer or some of the additional features and single player levels that we added into the original game. So
yeah, let's go. And then I guess Nintendo
and is not representative of the quality that we push out of the studio. End quote.
Yeah, and then Nintendo even used an old, outdated image cover of it in their store. Yeah. But the best part, though, it's 20% off. Mm-hmm. So you can go get it now, and it's 20% off for $23.99. But I guess though I did. I think it wasn't this article. It was another one. Nintendo was a second party company that they're working with. I think it was called 505 Games. And it was something like they basically released the wrong one, and it will be fixed shortly. So all of that will be fixed shortly. I don't know how they didn't go into the will everyone just download an update, or will you have to re-download everything? I don't know, but it's saying it's supposed to be fixed shortly. So if you're wanting something like this and you're wanting 20% off, now would be the time to go and get it. So, but I have never heard of a game getting released without the publisher's notice. I thought that was...
Yeah, that was certainly an interesting situation, and I don't recall seeing anything ever be newsworthy like that. Like, someone released our game. I don't know how, but they did.
Yeah.
Sybil says, $5. Have a beer, Hops and Brews, for being such a good sport. By the way, if you haven't looked at Discord, I would avoid looking at the Discord.
I've been watching this.
Have you?
Okay, well, I got Sybil, those are private photos. Like, I sent you those privately. You asked for your collection. Is it past 10 yet?
No.
We'll talk about it in 19 minutes. How dare you? And Big Spoon, that wasn't teen. That was 2 years ago. No. That was right out of high school.
It's okay, we got you.
Yeah. So this is what happens when you post on Bite My
So John, your video was a little crunchy. I went ahead and just put a really nice profile pic of you up for the remainder of the stream.
You didn't do that. Didn't do that, did you? Because my stream is a little bit behind what you're stating. You did. I already know you did it.
What?
You dumb bastard. Okay, that's fine. Whatever. Oh, look, Jeff's viewership just went up. All girls. That's amazing. All girls. Look at that. Hey, ladies. I'm married now, but whatever. Cool.
It's just a ring. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, it comes off.
It comes off. On that note, I think I'm ready for my last beer of the night.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go get something.
Oh, you bastard! Oh, you bastard!
You guys.
I know what he's gonna get. He's gonna get the needs of the few outweigh the needs of the many, or the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. I'm willing to bet that. I'll put $2 down on it.
I was gonna get that.
Were you?
I was, but I was like, I need something with some more chutzpah. My headphones.
A little chutzpah to it.
Let's chutzpah to it. So I'm gonna go. Beaver Brewing Company.
Okay.
Their Boys in Lab series present dark chocolate peanut butter porter aged in bourbon.
Oh.
So it's basically the needs of the many without the banana.
Right.
Let's add bourbon.
Say you have my attention.
Yes. So.
And I know I'm gonna have Hops' attention with my next beer too.
Oh, I left my glass. Oh, do I gotta? Yes. All right. Actually, this isn't a big beer. This is only like, so it's not a super big. But I had the whiskey version of this with Steve, and the peanut literally just screams out of this beer. And it's a Tavour exclusive.
Oh. The traditional John pour on that one I see too.
Yeah, well, the glass was dirty. I left the clean glass I put in the fridge. So.
Yep. Anyway, well, you're, how is it? Oh. How is it? Well, I'm still on you. Yeah.
That's just bourbon and peanut.
Yeah.
Bourbon. You ever like those dark chocolate covered peanuts, something like that?
Oh yeah.
And bourbon. That's what this. I mean, it's a good smooth peanut. A lot of times you'll taste like, it kind of tastes peanut, or it's overburnt. This is good. Everyone's making fun of me.
Even the new guy. Drake says more like Hops and Screws XXX beer reviews.
All right. You know what? I don't mind you making fun of me. You just better sub to me. That's all I care about.
Go sub to Hops and Brews. If you're going to poke fun, the least you can do is watch a video or two.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, get the notifications then.
He says I've been on the server. He says I've been on the server all of a half hour, and now I'm going to get kicked.
Oh, no, you're not going to get kicked. Not even close.
Welcome aboard.
Welcome aboard, Drake.
Anyway, John, I know you're going to have feelings towards this next one. because they don't can this one. But
Well,
I happen to have a can. It's
That-
right here.
You better not say it's like Belgian Underground or something.
It's not a Belgian Underground, but
Okay,
God, if
alright.
I could get a hold of one, oh man, if I can get a secret army right now, I
Right,
would
right.
kill someone.
That's what I was
I
like.
would kill someone live on stream. God, I want one of those. No, this is a Santee Amp.
Okay.
Okay. This is not
What?
the Governor's Reserve because they can and bottle that.
So wait, what don't they can? Because right now they're canning just about everything. Is that like the wee heavy?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good
Prince Charles Wee Heavy. It's a Scottish strong ale. It is a 9.2% ABV, 25 IBU, 9.2%. This is a good beer, and it is only ever available on draft. It is only because of the pandemic that they decided to go ahead and can it, because they had a batch ready to go and no kegs to put it in. Oh God, you mean? Oh yeah, John, you're not on stream right now. I don't know what happened, but oh God, this is a good beer. Just gonna enjoy that pour a little bit. See if we can express some kind of a head out of it. Not much. It's carbonated, but a very loose head, and it's gonna dissipate here in about 3 seconds. John got so pissed off, he went ahead and left the stream. So, Dura Sisters, why don't you come on back? Oh, why did I close that? Oh, good. There's the... Is John coming back? He might be coming back. Hold on, I gotta get his backup image up just in case. There we go. All right, everyone, Hops and Brews is still live with us. Don't mind the lack of audio. He's just so stunned at the current news. Becky, be sure to include a can of that for me, too. I did have to buy a 4-pack of this. It was absolutely fantastic. I think I'm still live on YouTube. Am I right? Yes, I am still live on YouTube. So we are good. I don't know what happened to John. John's just gone. It's like honey and brown sugar for a sweetness. Very, very malt heavy. What the heck? It's saying Jeff isn't there on my end. I think I might have to recall you or something. Who knows? Let me go to that image there. And in fact, let's go ahead and turn off John's camera entirely. Sorry, a little bit of there we go. A little bit of technical difficulties we're going to work out here. Hopefully we can get John back. So I'm going to disconnect. John, if you can disconnect, it says you're still kind of connected. I might have to restart Discord. And in fact, I'm going to go ahead and do that. There we go. Go. All right. And let's see if we can get Hops and Brews back.
Yeah, I don't.
There we are.
Yeah, wow.
I hear you. Ah!
There we go. All right. There we go. Yeah. Okay. All right. I see you, and I'm connected. Yeah. No, I tried to. It kicked me off and said you froze.
No. What was funny is you were still connected in a call with me.
Yeah.
I had to restart. I restarted Discord, and then it said when I booted it back up, it said you're still in a call with Hops and Brews.
What's weird? I restarted, and because it said I couldn't connect to you.
Yeah.
That was weird. Okay, well, whatever.
That was bizarre. Anyway, we're back.
Anyways, I'm assuming you just made fun of me the whole entire time.
I did, and I poured the Wee Heavy, and I put your picture back up. because I didn't have an image to show next to me. So
yes. Anyway, so yeah,
I have to have a co-host.
Yeah, a picture of me is better than nothing, right?
A very silent co-host in this case.
Shut up. There's a story behind that pic.
I don't want to know it.
It was a great.
Novella obsessed. You don't have to be lonely, Jeff. Try farmersonly.com.
You don't have to be lonely. At
buyMyBiz.com.
Anyways,
anyway,
actually, we got some sports news. A little bit of sports and tech news.
We can go with that.
We can go with that.
Yeah. So for those of you who are missing live sports, very much like myself.
Yeah.
Because I am a basketball junkie, and God, I miss me some playoff basketball right now. There's hope in the future that we might eventually return to some semblance of normalcy, but there might be a new streaming service behind it.
Yeah. So Amazon.
Sorry, I know I segued you mid-drink there, but I didn't have anything else to say without ruining the segue.
Sorry. So Amazon just signed an exclusive NFL game deal. Now, this isn't going to be a whole season thing, but they do have an exclusive on a prime time game. And so we are going to miss.
It's the Thursday night game. It's the Thursday night game.
Actually, it's a Saturday night game. So it's the first
really?
Yeah. So the first year, so that is closer to the end of the season, is the Saturday night. They say it's at the second
prime time.
Yeah.
Which means competing with college football. And you know they're going to put the Browns at the Jets. Like, you know that's what's going to happen. John? Dang it. What the heck? This is either Discord or John, because it's not me, because I'm not dropping frames. I have been live for 1 hour, 52 minutes. I have dropped 0 frames, according to OBS. All of them have been received by YouTube. So don't put this evil on me, Ricky Bobby. But I think we're going to go ahead and have to kill that and hopefully get it back later. Anyway, yeah, so Saturday night game. And they will be competing against college football. I don't see this as a real huge business deal as far as that goes. Is Hops calling me again? He said he joined the call. Hold on. There we go. All right, I'm giving you one more chance here.
So I switched my camera. So I'm going to try.
Your audio's dead. It just cut out. I had you for about a second and a half, and then you died. He's working on it. Hashtag blame Discord. I'm in the League of Blaming Discord, and at this point I might have to switch over to Zoom. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I can see you talking. I can't hear a thing. I don't know if you can hear me. Okay, yeah, he's nodding his head. He can hear me, at the very least. So, do you understand the words that are coming out? Okay. This is great. Why can't Saturday Night Live have problems like this? Like, I was beating most of the late night talk shows and whatnot as far as, you know, remote video quality goes. And I mean, look at that. That's like good image right there on the screen. I put some real production value into that Elfars too. But you know, like Jimmy Kimmel, I'm beating the heck out of him. You know, Seth Meyers, God, turn your cell phone around. The rear camera is 3 times better. You don't have to see what you're filming if you put it out in front of you. You're going to be fine. They can fix that in post. But yeah, it's just really, really funny that here we go. Hold on. Do we have him? Maybe. I got a little spinny thing. That's all I see. There we go. My co-host, everyone. talking heads with like 12 people on Zoom. We actually did that Zoom call. That was a lot of fun. I don't know what is going on. Good Lord. Oh, I think it joined it in my browser. There, God. Ugh. Where is the disc? There it is. Okay. Now I can leave that on. Go there. Okay. All right. I'm good. I'm good. I swear I'm good. I think it's because you were making fun of him. He just decided to leave because he was all hurt at all your guys' comments. I think Discord is having some major issues because all I'm getting is spinning here. So I may abort and see if we can get a Zoom call up and running. Let me see if I can do that. There we go. And personal meeting, new meeting. Computer audio. We'll see if we can get him back here. We'll see. We'll see. We shall see. We shall see. Bear with me. Live troubleshooting. It's always fun. Anyway, we need the Simpsons technical difficulties image. Yeah, no, I actually preferred like the American Dad one where Roger fell out of the attic and he's like got a bottle and he's doing this number. Like I prefer that one. The CIA has joined your Zoom call. Okay, admit. Do we have him? Do we have him? We may have him. Hold on.
All right. I see you there.
All right, I can hear you.
All right.
So bottom left, you've got a video option. Hey, I've got you.
Yes, there we go. I have you.
Yes.
You wouldn't pick up when I tried calling you on Discord.
I picked up multiple times. Oh. It wasn't answering.
I blame Discord.
Yeah, I totally blame Discord. Anyway, hey, look at that. We're back up. We're on Zoom, and your camera quality is beautiful.
So this is Discord. It's not my fault. I've been prepping the whole time. God,
that's what I said. That's what I said too. Anyway, we're on Zoom now.
Okay.
I think everyone can hear you. I see the little bar moving, so I think we're good.
All right.
I think we're good. We haven't lost like 5.
So for me,
10, 12
Zoom,
minutes.
Everyone else, you can use Discord.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Hops and Brews is going to join my Discord or my Zoom meetings from now on.
Hey, there we go. I look good. All right. Okay. I didn't hear what you said. I assume you went through the whole article.
I was just kind of rambling. Yeah, we can move on to the next.
All right, because it wasn't much. It was just NFL is going to get one game for the next 3 years on Amazon Stream. The first one will be a Saturday night.
Goodness.
Second end of the season, and that's basically it. But it's going to be streamed on Amazon and Twitch.
Yeah.
That's whatever. But the second.
I need a dump button or something.
Thank you, Rona. The last one I found just hilarious and heartwarming at the same time.
This is so great.
It was so great.
So great.
So NASCAR drivers have been kind of doing like iNASCAR and a bunch of digital racing for a while.
They've been playing iRacing leagues, and they've been actually broadcasting this on Fox Sports Racing. Mm-hmm. Like, this is a big deal. And I don't think they're racing for money. It's not going for points. It's more like bragging rights at the moment, just to give entertainment.
Yeah.
But this is a big deal. Like, this is a big stage.
And their setup, they have a legit setup. I mean, it's not VR, but it's that 3-screen.
It's a triple 60-inch screen with a full motion roll cage and everything. Like, it's a legit setup.
And so, and I are you a NASCAR follower at all?
I'm not a NASCAR guy. I'm more of a Formula One. You know, I like circuit racing, not necessarily oval track.
So I'm not either. So both. I'm just not a racing fan. But a driver named Danny Hamill, who apparently won. So it was a pretty famous NASCAR driver.
Yes, I actually do know that name. So
okay, so
you've got me there.
He was in a race recently, within a couple days ago, and he actually kind of climbed back up the ladder because he lost the qualification and was on the top 10 list and was on the middle of a run. And his 7-year-old daughter ran up to him, trying to ask him a question, and had the remote for the TV he was on and turned him the TV he was on
in the middle of a lap.
In the middle of a lap. And she runs out and she was like, was that me? It was the most precious and hilarious thing ever.
It was so adorable. It really was. Because, you know, I've had my daughters run in here. I've had both of them run in at various points, and I've had all 3 of my animals run in at various points and whatnot. And it's precious when they run in and they interrupt, especially my 2-year-old and like my dogs right now, because it's like they didn't know any better and they're just like, I'm so happy to see you right now.
Yeah.
But his 7-year-old runs up onto his left side and she has a TV remote in her hand. I don't think it was the remote for that TV, but it happened to be a Samsung TV remote, and most in-brand TV remotes, even if they don't share similar functions, the power signal is the same.
Yeah, I think the frequency is the same, yeah.
Thus, the TV be gone and all the different projects that you can put together with microcontrollers and whatnot to like turn off all the model TVs at the same time.
I'm betting the setup was probably given to him by like NASCAR sponsors. I'd be like, everyone has the same one, here it is. And he probably just had a TV that was the same brand, and the daughter was probably watching shows.
She probably had a Samsung in the living room, had a problem. Hey, Dad, how do I get onto Disney Plus?
Exactly.
And ran in with the remote and turned off his main screen. The 2 others stayed on, so his outside screen stayed on, but his main center screen blanked.
He right away afterwards, went onto Twitter, posted a video, of course holding a Coca-Cola, his sponsor. But it's great. His wife has a camera from her cell phone, what's going on, and it just captured the moment perfectly. I highly recommend doing this. And I guess, though, that if you scroll down in the article, this isn't the first time his daughter's done something like this.
Right.
So I guess he was about a month ago, like when the whole thing started, the whole pandemic and stay-at-home thing started. He is sponsored by Coke, so when they're like doing a live, he was like, "Hey, babe, honey, can you go hand Daddy that Coke?" And she handed him like a shook up one, and he was driving, and it just started spilling all over him. So he's driving with one hand, and he's like, "Oh, I need you to take this, quick!" Yeah, exactly. So, it's just quite hilarious and funny and
and the stuff that only the pandemic could bring, because ordinarily this would not be news. And iRacing League, God bless them, I love iRacing, I love the sim racing community in general, but this would not make People magazine.
No, this wouldn't do anything. I mean, this would be like his hobby of like, oh yeah, I love doing this, and the people he races against are nobodies, honestly. But no, he's racing against other NASCAR
NASCAR drivers, right?
Yeah, exactly. So essentially, this is your NASCAR or whatever, And so the fact that his 7-year-old daughter made him lose that circuit is just hilarious.
But the funniest thing about this is he actually went onto Twitter afterwards and did a full post-race interview, as he normally would, for like, yeah, the car was running pretty good that day. You know, we had it was running a little warm, but we got it under control. My pit crew is absolutely fantastic. They're the best in the world. I'm honored to work with them. Thanks to my sponsors, Coca-Cola and whatnot and whatnot, blah, 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 and whatnot. And he goes, earlier in the day, someone put someone else into the wall and rubbed a little bit. And later on in the race, they clipped me a little bit, but we kind of kept the car under control and kept it on moving, and we got her done. And that was a good thing to get through. But man, my 7-year-old ran in the room and she happened to have a remote control in her hand and turned off the view screen, and man, that was it. And we just couldn't come to the finish line. It really disappointing, but he did the whole bit just absolutely perfect.
Yeah, that was great.
We have Bite My Bits asking for a virtual boop on Hop My Brews. Or Hops and Brews.
Hop my
Brews.
Hop My Brews. Yeah, I was like, what? How are you going to do it? Like, wait.
Craft, boop, Hops and Brews.
Wait. I only see Big Spoon.
Yeah, Big Spoon.
Oh, I thought you said Bite My Bits.
No, I said Hop My Brews because I think a Big Spoon is like an other Discord guy. Like I know he gives me money, but his heart is somewhere else.
Honestly, I think his heart's here, but I think he's, I don't know. It's pretty hard. I honestly think he's like 50-50. I think he's actually 45-55. He's close to being torn.
He's leaning this way.
I think he leans.
He is.
I think if you just did like,
I think he's got a bit of a left slant to him.
I think if you just did like maybe one wacky video every other month, he would do something. He'd like lean toward you now. You'd be the 55.
Hashtag Hop My Bits.
I mean, I tried doing something like that. It didn't get good. Good.
Well, John, back when we were dating.
Oh, is it past 10? Oh, it's past 10. Great, we can talk about this. All right, so yeah, back in 07.
We've been friends a long time.
When I first met Jeff.
Hold on.
Let me set the mood here. Click. Hit the light.
Get the lighting just right.
The two of us met in the candlelight area. Me, a blonde-haired, long-haired, masculine man. Jeff, a computer genius. Yes.
We met at a club down in Old Soho.
Me smoking a pipe, him having a scotch. Neat.
With a side of Coca-Cola. C-O-L-A.
Hey, cola. All in Zach Brannigan's voice.
Yes, that's exactly who I was channeling there. So is no one going to compliment my NASCAR post-game interview? Like, seriously? I thought that was spot on.
That was pretty good. I that was better than what I would have done. It was just enough hick and like Ricky Bobby.
I can put just enough twang on it to make it very believable.
It was just enough twang, and Ricky Bobby has to be like, oh, it's that NASCAR driver.
Yeah. I don't know what to do with my hands.
It was a good race. Yeah, our pit crew was great.
Scotch neat would be my Earl Grey hot. You missed an opportunity there. We drank champagne and it tastes just like Earl Grey.
Right. Well, that is all of our news for the day.
That's it.
And we hit 10 o'clock thanks to technical difficulties. I purposely
we would have been on time, but again, Hops and Brews screwed us over.
No, I made us on time. We ended at 10 o'clock, so technically we're done.
John, you want to reread the last messages I sent you before we started?
What did I already closed Discord? You know it's wait, what are
let me scroll up and read the highlights. So, missed call by Craft Computing. Missed call by Craft Computing. Ground control to Major John. We start in 6 minutes. Come in, John. Lieutenant, do you have him? And then finally, you answered at
3 minutes. 9:54.
At 7:57.
Or yeah.
No, that's when I first started sending the messages.
Oh, yeah.
7:57. You finally answered. And
Yeah.
yeah,
I was on time. Well, what's the difference?
right?
I was like, it's fine. Just like me, right? Driving in, coming in, being like, Jeff, hit the go, hit the
Sir,
go.
we have him.
Hit the go. I've been telling you, just make sure to hit go at 8:00. I will be there. Don't worry about
Me turning to Lieutenant Hawk. Helm, warp 1, engage. That's a first contact reference if you didn't catch it.
All right. What do you want to do for the rest of the stream? You want to just?
I'm quite enjoying this Scotch strong ale.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say something. I know. I do like this bourbon peanut butter porter. I do. I will say though, I will probably bet. I think yours is a higher ABV than mine.
9.2.
Oh yeah, this is only like 7.5.
Yeah.
But very well balanced flavors. So
Yeah.
I'm really enjoying it. If you do like peanut, I know Becky really likes that. Becky, this peanut is better than that peanut butter porter you sent me. I know she messaged earlier in the chat and tagged me, and I kind of missed it because of technical difficulties. She said try to send her some. This is really good. I want to say even better than that peanut butter porter. The God, what was that brewery? She's Goat something cow. I forget. Anyway, I just wanted to mention it, so just give her a shout out.
Oh, the comments never stopped in Discord. John, live from Cardassia.
Yeah, yep. Everyone makes fun of me.
It'd be Cardassia Prime, by the way. It'd be Cardassia Prime. That's the inhabited one.
Well, technically, though, at the end of DS9, I think the rebels yell for Cardassia. They don't yell for Cardassia Prime.
They say Cardassia, but if I'm referencing it, it's likely Cardassia Prime. If I'm entering a course, I'm flying to Cardassia Prime, not the Cardassian system. I want to go to Cardassia.
I want to go to Cardassia, but then there's Cardassia Prime within the Cardassian. I think you would only say, okay, so I would say that if you're heading
you could say enter a course for Earth or enter a course for Sol 3. Yes. That is technically Earth, right?
I don't know. Was it Sol 3? I thought it was something else.
Or Sol 3, because we're the Sol system and we
are
the third planet.
Yeah, but no, again, not our personal favorite, but Enterprise, I believe they reference Earth as something else.
Well, they're wrong.
I think. Anyways,
Mars is Sol 4.
No.
But all the planets have names, and I'm sure all the Cardassian planets have names.
Yeah, Cardassia Prime. But I think you could probably say enter a course to Cardassia, not Cardassian space. And if you said Cardassia
in DS9, when they were heading there, they said enter a course to Cardassia Prime. They did.
I bet there's probably enough.
More often than not, it was Cardassia Prime.
But that doesn't mean that they didn't say Cardassia.
They've referenced Cardassia in a number of conversations.
Now, what did Gul Dukat? So the episode where Gul Dukat is taking Cisco. No, that's the Klingon homeworld. That is Kronos. I'm betting
just like Kronos, you could say Kronos. Because that's the name of the planet.
Yes, but so I don't remember any Cardassian saying Cardassian.
You know our planet's name means dirt, right?
Yeah. I don't remember any Cardassian referencing when they're entering a coordinates of stating go to Cardassia Prime. I do remember them stating Cardassia Prime as a location.
Yes.
While they're in DS9 or how did they call it? Kovat Nor or
Terok Nor.
Terok Nor. Yeah, Terok Nor. Well, Tovak Nor was not the second one. I forget what the second one was.
Povak.
I'm getting Klingon and it was something Nor. And what was the abandoned one that was sideways?
Shalot Nor?
Shirok Nor?
Shirok. Yeah, because there's Terok Nor.
Terok Nor is DS9.
Is DS9, right.
And then there was the sister version that they had to go take that plasma coil and then Quark's mother exchange.
You're wearing clothes?
Yeah.
Better? Yes, actually. Freaking
Yeah.
Rom.
Right, yeah. God. Yeah. There's some really good characters in DS9.
Yes.
Weird.
There's characters in DS9 that evolve and live and grow.
Yeah. Well, what's so funny though, they're not the main character.
Outside of Wesley Crusher.
Yeah, well, Wesley Crusher was just a punching bag. And it was really just they only had the 6 main characters in TNG. And DS9 though, that they had the opportunity because it was a space station. And by the way, I have to point out, see how we get into Star Trek after talk. This is how it is. It's bullcrap like this.
It literally just flows
it is past
in.
10. I have to say bullcrap. But yeah, it literally just flows into a conversation. By the way, big
Empoknor.
Empoknor. Yes,
thank you. Thank you, Stal.
Big Spoon, Hops After Party. Also, what beers are dairy free? Oh, so Big Spoon, no after party tonight. Did that once. That was when I wasn't on and regretted that the next day. Although
I was so hungover.
That was a great night. I enjoyed it. Probably won't do it again. I just kind of wanted to test out live streaming. I'm thinking about doing a live stream, more like on a Saturday, every other week, something like that. Maybe talk about the other alcoholic news the smaller stuff that we kind of pass on this show, because we try to hit more of the bigger scope, fun, entertaining ones. But as far as dairy-free beer, 90% of most beers are dairy-free. Unless you see a lactose beer, lactose sugar added beer, milk stout, those are the ones that have dairy in them. They're dairy sugars. It's not necessarily dairy, it's just dairy sugars. It's lactose.
Well, lactose, but lactose is a dairy, and so you do need to avoid that. A lot of New England IPAs will add lactose, and so I would stay away from a good chunk of hazy IPAs because a lot of those have lactose added.
So the easy way to tell the difference is a good rule of thumb. It'll say milkshake versus New England. And so
yes.
Yeah. Totally. So if it says milkshake IPA, milkshake is a high definition of, hey, we added lactose that gives you that creaminess. Now, Jeff's point, there are some that do still state New England, and you might want to read the description to say,
right.
Hey.
There's no definition or specification for what a hazy is,
other than unfiltered.
Right, it's unfiltered, but it could be a lactose, and a lot of the way the hazies get hazy is they add lactose. They may or may not disclose that.
Yes, exactly.
Myself, I have a whey allergy. I'm allergic to whey protein.
Yeah,
and so I get hives, and it's a nasty business. So I try to stay away from it in general, but at the same time, I still drink hazy IPAs, and I still drink milk stouts, and I still eat ice cream. Because YOLO, right?
Right. Well, I mean, and again, too, they usually don't
pay for it the next day. I'm not saying I don't.
Exactly, but there's not, even in beer, there's not like a large, exuberant amount of it in it, but there's probably enough to affect a lot of people that are lactose intolerant. But it probably won't be the exact same of having cheese or
right.
Milk. But there's that sugar, in it. So, for example, a 5-gallon batch would probably only have 1 pound.
Right.
So you think when they do a 5,000-gallon batch, they probably only have 500 pounds.
Yeah.
So there's probably only 1% is probably lactose.
Right.
So
but at the same token, I can eat ice cream, and I can eat cheese, and I can't drink like straight milk. I can't like have an 8-ounce glass of milk and be fine. That spells disaster for me.
Yeah.
But I can have things with some level of whey in them. The problem is, I went and had what is that shake company? There's a protein shake, or not a protein shake.
But it's like the breakfast shakes, the power shakes.
Not the breakfast shake. They do a lot of like strawberry puree drinks and stuff like that. You can get them at Fry's. You can get them at anyway. I picked up one day that was a protein shake, and I just went, oh, protein shake, awesome, and I didn't even think about it, and it was the protein was whey protein, is what they added to it. And that dropped me like you wouldn't believe, as far as like stomach cramps and intestinal discomfort and
those try to purposely have a lot too. The Premier Protein, there is there's quite a few like workout supplement, and then they also make them pretty mainstream. Odwalla.
Odwalla. Thank you. No. Yeah, Odwalla. I picked up an Odwalla just protein breakfast shake one morning, and it's like, oh, protein, awesome. Most of them use soy. Yeah, and I went, oh, perfect, soy. Like great. Nope, because I've done that myself. I've done some fasting diets, and I've done some other things like that where I also have peptic ulcers where I have to control them occasionally, and sometimes I will have liquid diets. I
was trying to milk you.
You finally read the comment. Finally learning more about craft computing than you ever wanted to know. I have a significant amount of intestinal issues. How's that? Yes. But part of that is occasionally I will go on just a pure liquid diet where I will just do like berry smoothies with some added soy protein to them, and that's how I live for a couple of days. Yeah. Just to not stress my stomach too much.
Oh yeah, I've actually I did that for like a year or two once, or for like for a strain of summer. I was like, all of breakfast is going to be just breakfast and lunch is pure liquid shakes.
During the summer, that's usually how I eat breakfast. Like during the winter time, it's eggs, omelets, a little bit of cheese, kind of thing. Usually towards the summertime, I'll start going towards more like a protein shake in the morning.
Fruits are very easily available, fresh around here, so that's why.
Yeah, and so it's easier to get fresh fruit and make a really good smoothie out of it.
Yeah, no, there's no milk in Dragon's Milk.
There's no milk in Dragon's Milk, right? That one's just a name.
That's just a name.
Yeah.
Now you can get a creamy effect from beer without lactose sugars. There is nitro. You can get a creamy effect from nitro. So if you ever have a nitro beer, doesn't necessarily mean there's cream in it. It just has a creamy effect because the bubbles are smaller. Also vanilla. Vanilla can add a creamy lactose taste to it. Be like, oh, this tastes very sweet. If they did it right, doesn't necessarily mean there's lactose in it. Right. 90% of the time, most companies do state, hey, if you see milk stout, milkshake IPA, lactose, they will state the ingredients somewhere on the can. 90% of the time, there are some smaller brands that don't, because wherever the state they're in, possibly the rules of their liquor license don't require them to say that.
Right. I will say I am very used to reading labels on food, not only because of my own allergy, but my wife is a celiac. She has what became to be known as gluten intolerance, but she has actually the autoimmune function of gluten intolerance, which is celiac disease, which means any wheat, barley, or rye product. Which means basically all the things that we as alcohol-loving folks love near and dear, she can't have.
I know, yeah. It's
all of it. Wheat, barley, rye. Those are my 3 favorite words, and she can't have any of it. And as the doctor that diagnosed her with it said, if this was, I'm not saying it is, but if this was a 1 to 10 scale on an allergy scale, you scored a 42. Yeah. Literal crumbs will contaminate our kitchen. So we have a very clean kitchen all the time. We have separate toasters. We have separate cupboards for various foods. And the only reason I'm still allowed a second cupboard is because the eldest of my 2 daughters doesn't have celiac. My youngest, we suspect, actually does. Oh. And so, yeah, we're already completely gluten-free for my youngest daughter. And Civil Bro, can you take Lactaid? No, because I am not allergic to lactose. I am not lactose intolerant. I am allergic to whey protein. It is a separate issue.
Yeah, so Jeff would have problem with like a lot of the workout supplements, the whey proteins that they're talking,
Lactaid is a lactose inhibitor where it doesn't allow that amino acid to function, and it allows your body to process it. My issue is not the lactose within foods; it's actually the whey protein. It's a different form or a different function of your digestive system, and mine is straight up an allergy, not an intolerance, and so it is a completely separate issue. And I believe Big Spoon actually said he was also allergic to milk as well, which is likely a whey protein allergy. So yeah, they are different ailments. Although most of the time I look for dairy-free things if I'm trying to go for, trying to be strict by it.
Yeah.
But a lot of processed things like cheese, I can have a lot of cheese, especially if it's been melted. I can have dairy that's been mixed into things. If it's been baked, I can have baked goods with milk in them because the whey protein is broken down into a form that I can digest.
Yeah.
The problem is drinking straight milk or drinking concentrated whey protein. And like I said, I can have like a cup of ice cream at a time, like literally like a cup, maybe a cup and a half, but that's about my limit. And it really doesn't affect me that much. I'll have some intestinal distress, but it's not anything more than a trip to the local Mexican restaurant. But,
yeah.
It's nothing to write home about.
That one couple minute trip I had to go spend in the bathroom. Yeah, it's kind of worth it.
Yeah, worth it. Yeah,
it's worth it. Yeah.
I have a chimichanga the size of my forearm about once a week from my favorite local Mexican place. And I'll have ice cream about once a week, and it's the same result.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you after so many years, you're like, look, I know the dangers, and I'm fine with it. Honestly, my body's kind of almost adjusted to the discomfort level of like, look, I know I'm going to do this, but the level of enjoyment I'm going to have outweighs the level of discomfort I'm going to have. And if I eat it at this time, I know my family's going to be away, so I'm just going to go and spend the time in the bathroom, and I'm just going to take my Switch or cell phone in there, and I'm just going to enjoy a couple minutes.
I have a butterscotch dilly bar in the fridge, and I can't wait to have it.
Yeah, so
I'm going to have it.
No, I mean there are certain foods that do similar things. I don't have an allergy to dairy, but there are just in general foods a lot of cheese blocks a lot of people, and so I don't eat pizza too much, but I love pizza. Honestly, pizza's probably like top 3 foods for me, and if I could,
I'd have pizza tonight.
Yeah, I had pizza Sunday and Monday, so it was just like and then one of them had extra cheese on it. I love it. I want to go get, because a lot of the pizza places around us right now are having deals on pizza. Like, come get our pizza. I was like, I so want that, and I love Italian pasta, creamy cheese stuff. I love that type of thing. And my wife like hates noodles essentially, and so I'm just like, carbs. So.
Right. So Reverend says he would love a chimichanga the size of his arm. Seriously, the chimichanga that I eat is about this big. Like,
yeah,
not even kidding. And in fact, I think I have a picture I can probably find on my phone of a chimichanga, literally about the size of my forearm. And probably weighs about the same amount too.
I will say Oregon has phenomenal Mexican Spanish food. And it's not even just my town where I live. It is throughout probably the Willamette Valley, Multnomah County, greater Eugene to Portland area.
Yeah.
Phenomenal Mexican food. And it's actually not even like the big fancy restaurants. It's the little hole in the walls that the family they immigrated from Mexico, and it's like, this is my grandmother's recipe, my great grandmother's recipe. And
that's the place that I eat. And oh my god,
there are places in my town that.
By the way, that chimichanga is like $6.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Jeff knows places in my town that are like, that's a place to go. And there are carts in Portland, and again in my town, there are food carts that are just like, that's a place to go. Trust me, $6-7, you're getting plates like this, food burritos
Yeah.
that are this thick wrapped, and everything is fresh. It's not like Baja Fresh where you're gonna get E. coli. No. This is fresh rat meat.
Yeah. Even Baja Fresh is pretty good. I love their Americano tacos, but at the same time, I can get so much better food. There are 6 different places in your town and probably 3 in mine that I can get street tacos for $1 a piece.
Oh yeah.
That will blow your mind.
Oh yeah. You didn't get my rat meat reference, did you?
Yeah. Okay, so 4 places in your town and 3 in mine.
Hey, what's wrong with rat and dog? I mean,
President Obama on his presidential campaign actually stopped by John and mine at the Times town and ate at one of the Mexican restaurants there.
Yeah.
Because it is kind of a famous restaurant for Oregon. So.
Oh yeah. And there's a restaurant in my town currently now, was previously Jeff's town, but in my town, voted #1 Mexican restaurant in all of Oregon.
Yep.
And
I think I eat normally at the number 4.
Yeah.
So it's not that far off.
So yeah, my particular town is heavy Hispanic, but the best part is if you love that type of food, it's so great. It's so good. And I really do like that type of food. I probably go out there at least once a week.
Friar Duck points out, don't get me started on the street tacos in Chula Vista down in San Diego. I have eaten there. That's the only place I've ever been that compares.
Yeah,
it's down in San Diego.
Yeah.
But to be fair, you're also 8 miles from the border.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So my brother lives in studios.
We're 1,200.
Yeah, so you gotta comprehend that. But at the same time, I think I would put our soil and ingredients versus San Diego.
Yes.
So that's the thing. I think our soil and produce is way better than what you would ever get in San Diego. So if you have those,
and I will second that with our beer quality versus San Diego as well.
Oh yeah. So the thing is, those are most of the stands and restaurants. They don't serve that great of beer, so you usually have to take them home, and you get it. But the hot sauce, the quality of food you get here for the Mexican style, Spanish style. But that's pretty much it. Any other style here in Oregon isn't really that great. I mean, it's good, but it's not great. Mexican food, though, if you want to get Spanish Mexican food, Oregon is a fantastic place. It does compare to Southern California, I think. I think it's right up there of like, hey, you're right close to the border. We have a huge Hispanic culture here in Oregon. I think, and especially in my particular town, it's 50% that, 40% Russian, 10% other. So if you're looking for that big diverse culture, because there's actually even a couple of really good Russian areas, which that's what I am.
Yeah.
If you love that type of stuff with meat, cabbage, baked goods, they got some really good stuff here too. Not as many, but still, there's some really good diamonds in the rough. And we take a couple people and like, hey, try this, and they're like, this is good.
Yes.
So yeah.
There are only like 3 chain restaurants in the town outside of like your McDonald's, Burger King, and Taco Bell. But I think there's a Red Robin and there's a couple other things, but that's it. And everything else is like mom and pop, hole in the wall, or just literal
cart
taco wagon.
Yeah, taco, and then the taco wagons are fantastic, and they battle each other. I will say they battle each other.
It's a competition, and they know it.
Yeah, no, they try it. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
All right. What's going on? What do we got?
It's about 10:35.
Yeah. So Johnson, I don't. So Novella Hub, I do not speak Russian. Steve used to speak a little Russian.
Yeah.
I had a couple brothers and sister. They went to Russia for a couple months. They spoke a little Russian, but over time it just kind of dwindled out. I am a immigrant actually of 100% both Russian great grandparents, and so far. So as pure as my blood could be, it is as pure as technical could bleed,
And then you married the whitest girl I know.
And then I married an Irish girl.
Yeah.
Yep. So whatever. I did get offers. If I did, I will. And this is no lie. If I married a Russian girl, my wedding and house and a potential job would have been given to me.
Yes.
But I also would have had to denounce my family. But all of that would have been given to me in the Russian community. The Russian community, it's a strong community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. But no, John's wife, I love her to death.
She's she
is something else.
And she's fantastic. I've had so many people like
Christmas. That's all I need to say.
Yeah.
Christmas.
Yeah, Christmas is fun. If you even just
when isn't Christmas?
If you just give her like, okay, well, let me put this. She's a smaller girl. If you give her like one glass of wine, she's just like, woo, let's have it. No, she's not like listening, but she's just like, let's have. That's when she like lets loose.
Party.
Yeah,
right.
She's just like, let's have fun, and she'll throw the jokes down with everyone. And the community that Jeff and I and our friends, we're like, yeah, we all joke with each other, and it's fun. So we don't really take offense to anything. And it's similar with our wife. We don't take offense when they're having fun and they're throwing jokes at our expense, and we throw jokes at their expense. And it's nothing personal, and there's nothing dark. It's playful and everything like that. So, there goes my phone. My phone just dropped because of the vibration. Anyways,
I will say John's wife wears all of the pants in that family. John,
shut up, Jeff. I'm trying to paint a picture where I have at least.
I painted a picture of we can say the jokes
of some
and no one's offended, right, John?
I'm trying to paint a picture of some masculinity I have left. I need at least 30%. Give me that. I need 30%, Jeff.
27 tops.
I need 33.33. I need a
How many years has it been? How many years has it been?
I don't even remember.
Right?
Less than yours. It's like 12.
Yeah.
So I don't remember. I stopped.
It erodes away every year. I swear.
It does. I stopped counting at 1. So I was like, you're my wife.
Send your wife all of my apologies for this stream.
She doesn't watch your channel. She doesn't watch my channel. And she's always like, oh, you're good.
My wife doesn't watch my channel.
My wife's always like, you're good at YouTube, right? And streaming stuff. I'm like, have you never seen my show? So how do you know?
Right?
My
wife has no idea what I do in my office for 6 hours a day. She has no clue.
I sign in as her and then go into my page and be like, oh yes, watch my channel.
Like,
comment, everything. I did that one time. She's like, never comment on my page on your show ever again. Never do that.
I will not be associated.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, I will not be. You can take my views, but never use my comments.
See the previous pants comment. I love your wife, and I apologize.
Yeah, no, she's awesome.
Anyway, that's a perfect place.
That's a great to end this. So
it's 10:38. Thank you guys so much for watching episode 130 here on Talking Heads. Make sure to subscribe to Good Lord.
Hops and Brews. Me.
Hops and Brews.
Yeah.
Make sure to subscribe to Hops and Brews over there on, what is that? My
YouTube.
right, your left?
It's called YouTube. On YouTube.
Yes. Make sure to subscribe to Hops and Brews over on YouTube. Link is down in the video description below. If you like the beer content that's on the show, you will like his channel even more.
Yep.
He covers it in depth and with about the same acumen that I could, but he actually films it.
Wait, it's past 10, right? All right.
It's past 10. It's past 10.
There we go. Perfect.
Make sure to follow me on Twitter at Craft Computing. Make sure to follow John on Twitter at Hops and Brews. And keep up with both of our daily shenanigans. And there are plenty to go around.
Plenty. I constantly talk about Jeff on my Twitter, so it's fine.
Because that's the only big name he knows.
Pretty much. Well, no, it's not the only big name I know. I know other big names. They just never talk to me.
They just never respond.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, like Buy Me Bits and Big Spoon and all the other ones. No one. No.
They don't care.
They don't care. One day they will, and they will pay.
They will know this
They
name
will
and
know.
suffer.
And they will rain the wrath of the Thunder God. What? Huh? Yeah.
Make sure to subscribe to Craft Computing on your way down there to the video description. Check out my Amazon affiliate links down there as well. If you're looking at picking up anything during this quarantine time, I would certainly appreciate any views over on that page. It has a lot of things that I recommend that you pick up, as well as anything that you would like to pick up on Amazon as
In
well.
general, yeah.
And it really does help literally keep the lights on this channel. Make sure to join the Patreon if you think about financially donating to the channel. It's a great way to do that, and you get exclusive access to the Discord server. Chat with myself and the other hosts from Talking Hats if you deem them worthy. You know, you can just ignore John's comments, but Steve and Rhett are both great people to talk to, and they're on pretty much 24 hours a day.
I'm on, and I will pesterize you if you don't respond to me.
He will.
I will.
I've seen him do it.
I've done it multiple times.
Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching episode 130. I'm Jeff, he's John, and as always, we'll see you next Wednesday here at 8 p.m. Pacific time for the latest in beer and tech news.
See you guys later.
Guys.